worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Welcome. Let me mute this because I got the audio going on my phone. We're on Instagram Live. This is our May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th, Car Questions and Answers live stream. I am your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. You may see these broadcasts throughout the week on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means you're watching one of our live shows, so you guys can start typing your questions. If you don't know me, my name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. Let's get the quick housekeeping out of the way before we start bringing in questions. I've been in the auto industry since 2006. I left in 2020 after the pandemic. Since then, we've been focused on car shopping education, teaching you how to get the low market prices on your leases, your new cars, and your used cars by bidding and looking at multiple offers, making dealers and banks bid for your business versus how you've traditionally shopped. So that is what we do. I'm also the author of the pretty much 5-star rated digital book. It's called Cars from Home, and we're currently rated 4.94, goodreads.com. Just want to get the housekeeping out the way for those of you who don't know me. For some of you who've been on the show before on the stream, welcome back. But for those of you who don't know me, this is my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. You can get your copy for 75% off the normal price by going to my Instagram bio, the TikTok bio, or if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can actually scan this QR code, Facebook or YouTube. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to deshonebook.com. We have a link in the comments for you. Lastly, I am the host of the masterclass, Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. Some of you have asked, I share a lot of people who are using these strategies throughout the broadcast. Some of them are people who have my book. Some of them are people who attended my free masterclass, and some of them are in my car shopping school, Maps Academy. So either way, you guys can get anything you need from me in the bios or in the comment section. So let's get started, Dolan. You can bring in the first question. This is May 7th. So if you're just getting on, we are live on all 4 platforms, May 7th, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And you can share this with your friends. Tyler from TikTok, how are you? How does gap insurance work on a lease? Great question. Gap insurance covers the amount that you owe if, God forbid, the vehicle is totaled or stolen and they don't find it. So let's just say the car is only worth $40,000, but the actual cash value if the vehicle gets totaled is, $35,000. So if the insurance company is only going to pay out $35,000, the gap insurance would kick in and cover the remaining gap. So now most leases include gap insurance, but you never want to assume that the lease includes gap insurance. Whenever you are getting your offers from dealers, when you're getting your offers, you always want to make sure that you ask for them to include gap insurance. But yeah, that's the way it works. You want to make sure 99% of leases have gap, but you don't want to make that assumption. Always ask when you're getting your quotes that the gap insurance be included. All right, great question. Go ahead, Dolan. Next one. All right, keep sending your questions, y'all. I see you on Instagram. Those of you who are on Instagram, you click that thing that looks like a paper plane, and you can actually see that you can easily invite a couple of your closest friends to the broadcast just so they know about this information when they need it. Because 1 in 5 people are shopping for a car at any given time. So 5 people in a group, 1 of them is going to be shopping for a car, and we want to make sure you guys have the knowledge you need. Go ahead, Dolan. Guys, make sure you are typing your questions all in one question. Try to get it all in one question. What's up, Instagram? This one says new car parts are hard to replace. The dealership wants old cars back. Anybody who's in the business of buying cars wants cars. So it's not just the dealerships, it's the online buyers, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana. They want cars. Local people who buy and sell cars, they want cars. Wholesalers who buy cars to sell to dealerships, they want cars. If you get what I'm saying, you understand why you need to be making people compete. See, we take one buyer. That's what you've been taught to do. You've been taught to take one buyer, one person who wants your business, and give them the opportunity to negotiate. What we teach is for you to actually go to multiple people who want that business and make them compete. And that's how we make sure we get below market prices, because we in order to get below market prices, you must see enough offers to know the market. I'm gonna say that again. In order to get below market prices, you have to know you've seen enough offers to where you know the market. Could y'all keep running up the likes on TikTok? Every time we say something that you like, if you could just tap the screen, it runs the likes up and it gets a lot of people's attention on TikTok. Let them know they need to be here. Okay, so that's what you want. Everyone wants cars back. So you want to make sure no matter where the market's going, electric cars, old cars, new cars, luxury cars, just make sure you are getting at least 5 to 6 offers every time you want to replace a car. We don't trade in cars because you are not going to get the money you could get trading cars. Now, I'm not talking to you about doing private sales either, where you list the car and then you go and you got to, have people come to your house in Facebook Marketplace. I'm talking about the people who pay cash money, inspect the car in an hour, hour and a half, and cut you a check. Those are the people we need to get 5 or 6 bids from, and that's what we teach. Those companies are very easy to find and very easy to work with. Okay, who's traded a car before? If you've ever traded a car before, type the letter T. All right, stay by your phone, y'all. This is live. This is May 7th. This is our 12 p.m. class, so stay by your phone. I want you to make sure we don't just talk here, we dialogue. All right, in order for you to get the most out of the show and for me to continue to do them, you want to make sure you as close to your keyboard so I know you're actually getting value out of the class, out of the stream, because you're communicating, engaging versus just listening. All right, I'll see you, Bell, on YouTube. Anybody who's traded a car before, type the letter T. If you've traded a car, this is important for you to know. It's almost impossible. I see you, Thomas, on Facebook. It's almost impossible, ML Headley, to get the most money for anything, not just a car, for any item on trade. So we don't trade. We don't trade. You're not going to get the most money, and you're not going to know that you got the best offer. You need to get 5 to 6 of these online offers, and that is how you replace your leases. And in the same way, look, you've left money on the table. Some of you know, I got to tell you the bad news first. Anybody who's traded a car since the internet and online car buyers have been invented, you've left money on the table. So I want you to stop. I'm suggesting you stop doing that right now if you really want to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 more every time you replace your cars. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. Jock from TikTok. How can I get rid of negative equity with a lease? First of all, let's talk about why do you have negative equity. This is improper deal structure. So if you went over your mileage, that means listen, you should not be taking a lease for 10,000 miles per year knowing you drive 15. Because frankly, to go from 10,000 a year to 15,000 a year is only about $40 for most cars. $40 more a month, and you get to go from 10,000 to 15,000 miles per year. So it's no excuse that, taking less miles than you need and then having to deal with mileage penalties that you shouldn't have had in the first place. So we see. So our solution for negative equity is to always in most cases to roll it into a lease, because the cause usually for negative equity is you buy your cars. Somebody told you don't lease, you listen to them, but you don't keep your cars long enough to outlive the depreciation. So you buy your cars and you replace them, usually by trade, in a short period of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, and that's too short of a period of time to replace a car because of the depreciation. But with a lease, you should not have negative equity. Negative equity is something, you have a penalty because you don't owe. Negative equity means the object you owe a loan on is not worth that. So you owe 20,000, but the car is only worth 15,000. In your case, you have agreed to drive 30,000 miles over 3 years, but you're driving 40,000 miles. You drove 40. So you need to pay that penalty in order for you to go to the next car. Okay? It should have been in your lease to begin with because you pay less for it if it's in your lease. You pay probably 15 cents a mile. Where on a penalty, you're going to pay 25 cents a mile in a lot of cases. So what you want to do is you want to consider this. Staying in the car, waiting to the end of the lease, and if whatever your mileage penalty is, rolling it over to the next car as far as work your deal out. This is what I would be doing. One, I would do an equity assessment. Before we even talk about this, you need to do an equity assessment. The equity assessment is step 2 in my process. The name of my book is Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. So it takes you all the way through the journey of getting your car from home while you are at home. So the second step, which is right after we decide whether we're buying or leasing, is we must do an equity assessment. Some of you, who has a car that they're going to be replacing to get a car? Type me. If you have a car, it could be a lease or it could be you own it, but you're going to be, next time you car shop, you're going to be replacing that car. Who's in that situation? Type me. Stay by your keyboards. Let's go. We're live. This is May 7th. Wake up, people. Wake up. School me. All right, me, I see you. All right. What's up? Y'all can we run the lights up on TikTok? Can we tap the screen? Can we tap the screen if y'all gonna spend time with us on TikTok? Tap the screen. All right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Don't play TikTok. I'll close the broadcast. All right. Y'all not paying me nothing. Okay. So I'm asking you for a tap of the screen if you want to stay on with us. All right. We could definitely go TikTok. We could go Facebook, YouTube, Instagram if y'all acting funny today. We got no problem. All right, I appreciate it. I see y'all now. I see the lights running up. All right, so if you have a car you're going to be replacing, then everybody who just said me, then the first thing, once you decide whether you're buying or leasing, is you need to do an equity assessment. So you're going to call your bank. If you don't have a bank, the car's paid for, then you can skip this step, but you're going to call your bank. You're going to find out what your payoff is. Once you find out what your payoff is, you're going to now, if you have a lease, you're going to ask them, do you have a third-party restriction? Now, once you make a note of those things, that's 4 different paths. See, I just talked to 4 different people. It's very important that y'all understand that I don't teach one size fits all car buying advice. So you got to listen closely to see, oh, is he talking to me? Oh, that's what group I fall in. So I just said, some of you are going to replace a car. You have no money you owe on it. You don't need to call your bank. Everyone else, lease or purchase or finance, you need to call the bank, and then you're going to ask for your payoff. Once you have a lease, you're going to do this next step. So some of you who don't have a lease, you don't have to do this step. Then you're going to ask, do I have a third-party restriction? And you're going to make a note of that. And you're going to put yourself into one of those 4 categories. Okay, this is broken down. This is step 2 in my book. So once you get that information, you're going to go online to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer. Please do not come talking about what Blue Book says. Algorithms in this market mean nothing. The only thing that matters is cash offers. So you're going to go to these people to get your cash offers: CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru, Sell My Car, and Auto Nation, Sell My Car. That's 6 offers. And once you have those offers, you will know where your equity position is. You will know if you have equity in your vehicle. You will know if you have no equity in your vehicle. If you are leasing, then there is no such thing as negative equity. Because let's say your payoff is $20,000 and your highest offer is $18,000. You don't have negative equity, you don't owe that. That just means when you go to drop off your vehicle, you can't sell it and make money. That's what that means. Now, if you have a mileage penalty like this gentleman may have, that's different. But that's separate from the equity assessment process. You need to know, what is the asset that I'm driving? What is the asset, the car that I have in my possession, worth on the market? And what do I owe on it? And is there equity there? So that is the step you do before you think about shopping and getting offers, because we break our transactions down into 3 categories. Who we buy our car from, we're getting bids. Who we get our loan from, we're getting bids. And who we sell our car to, we're getting bids. So this is very important in our process of how we get below market deals from home. Okay, so do that step, Jock, and that's what and you go from there. Everything I'm talking about is in my new digital book, Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. Shoot the next question in, Dolan. Everyone who wants your copy, you can get it for 30 minutes at 75% off. It's normally $97. So everyone who's gotten this book, and we've gotten close to probably 6,000 people at this point, the book is $97. But when you go to my bio now, or my Instagram or TikTok bio, you can get your copy for 75% off, which would be $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, just check the comments and go to deshonsbook.com. You got 30 minutes to get your 75% off. Okay, Tyler from TikTok, rolled over $14,500 from a trade into a 36-month lease. Payment only $54 a month. Is this a good strategy? Payments only $54 a month? What do you mean by that, Tyler? $54 a month. How could the payments be $54 a month? You need to know how much you're rolling over into the new deal, because let's say, for example, you have $14,000 of negative equity. Just that alone is $400 a month. Just the negative equity. So I'm trying to find out what you mean when you say rolled over 14.5 from a trip. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what you're saying. You are essentially prepaying your whole lease. What he's saying is he's taken all of the car that he is trading, which I just told you how much I'm not a fan of that. But he's now essentially doing a one-pay lease, or you're doing a huge down payment. So this is very important. You could be about to really lose your shirt right here. This could be extremely bad for you. You need to make sure you check what I'm about to say to you. If all of that money is being treated as a cap cost reduction, which is essentially a down payment on a lease, let's just say your payment would normally be, matter of fact, let's do this math real quick. And this is why having a consultant and having an advisor and getting education saves you thousands of dollars. Now, $14,500, you are talking about, if you put that into a payment form, your payment would be $400 a month higher, plus the interest on that, plus the taxes, plus the interest on that. So let's call it $430 plus this $54,000 this $54 a month. So let's say your payment would have been, without you trading, would have been like $485 a month. So if they're treating all of that as down payment, then here's what's happening. You're just prepaying the lease. So you have no protection. If that vehicle gets totaled, you are out $13,000. You won't be, anything you put into that vehicle, you're out. That money's gone if the vehicle's stolen or totaled. So what it makes more sense to do is to see if there's multiple security deposits that you could put. You need to get your offers, though, with no money out of pocket, because you can't look at one-pay leases and you can't look at multiple security deposits if you don't know what the original deal was without them. So if my payment is $500 a month, and then if I put multiple security deposits down, it lowers it to $450 a month, then that could be a good offer. If it lowers it $20 a month and I got to give them $6,000 to hold, then it doesn't make financial sense. That's not a good return on you holding $6,000. But I'm always comparing it. This is something we teach called advanced leasing strategies. This is not for everybody. So but you need to determine when you're doing a one-pay lease, all you're doing is giving them all of this money up front so they can lower the actual interest on the lease and see what the payment comes out to with the lower interest. So you have to get offers without down payments. This is why I'm saying when we shop, we never shop with down payments, whether we're buying cars or leasing them. We never shop with down payments because when you're putting all this money in, you can't assess the deal because you don't know how much of this being a low payment is because I put all this money down. You need to know you have a deal before you consider what monthly payments is going to be. If I'm getting a lease and I shop my offers and my lease deal is under 1%, or my best offer is under 1%, no more than 1.5, somewhere in between there, I know I have a good deal, regardless of how much I'm going to put down. So, and when it comes to purchasing, I need to know people worry about the payment. Some of you are worried about the payment. You don't care about what you're buying the car for, and you're worried about the wrong thing because you're thinking about the loan you're getting. You're not thinking about the car you're buying. Before you think about, hey, what's a good payment on this car? No, the better question is, who's the dealer that's going to sell me that car for the lowest price? Deshone, I want to get this BMW 4 Series. What's a good payment on that? No, you're going to get a BMW 4 Series. Who's the dealer that's going to sell you that BMW 4 Series for the lowest price? If 20 dealers, if say 10 dealers have that car, $60,000 car, some dealers are going to sell it for 65, some are going to sell it for 60, some are going to sell it for 57. You need to get these offers before you worry about what the payment's going to be. And that's a whole different philosophy. This is what I teach. So I'm never going to be in the business of not teaching you to understand the numbers because we make it simple. Whether you're using my book, whether you're paying attention on these live streams, when you are shopping multiple offers, you eliminate this. You cannot be a payment shopper because you'll just be throwing money at deals and thinking you got a deal, but you didn't get a deal. You just threw so much money at it that it lowered your payment to something that you felt good about. Doesn't mean you didn't overpay for the car. All right. Very, very important, y'all. This is $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 to $10,000 mistakes. These aren't $100 mistakes. Listen, look, people right now are so distracted. They are asleep. They are asleep. The only way people could continue to make money is people stay asleep. It's not so when I tell you the conversation, you are taught to, when you're buying a house, get help. Make sure you have a plan. Work with the best people. Get a home inspection, even if you're not going to buy the house, right? Don't you get a home inspection even if you're not going to buy the house? Don't you risk $400, $600, $800, even if you're not going to buy the house? Why? Because you want to protect yourself from making a $20,000 to $50,000 mistake. But with cars, this is the only thing that you think, oh, I could just do this on my own. Knowing that every time you buy a car, you have a little buyer's remorse. You hope you hope you didn't overpay. You hope you didn't. So lock in. The only way you are going to win and be like these people that I show on the show all the time, like you see just a ton of people that's paying ridiculous prices, below market prices. And I got more to show y'all. Like my next show, I got like 3-4 million people that hit me with their deals they got in the last 2 weeks that I haven't even pulled in yet. Like you're not going to get these prices until you take car buying as serious as you take buying a small house. Once you start doing that, then you'll start saving 5 and 10 and 15 grand on some of these cars. Until then, you're gonna keep just moving the way they want you to move. Go ahead, Dolan. Is there any way to get out of a car with too much negative equity? No. Negative equity is what I call a bad credit for people with good credit. You could have an 800 score. If you have too much negative equity, you're not going anywhere. So the first thing to know is what's the cause. See, we could sit here and we can cure the problem, but until we know the cause, you're just going to go and you're going to repeat the problem. The cause is you're not leasing, but you're not keeping your cars 8 years. So what you're doing is you're losing on depreciation. Your car's value is going like this. You buy your cars, it goes down 15%, 20% the first year, 15%, 12%, 12% is losing thousands of dollars in value for the first 5 years. And then that's when you go to trade it, or that's when you go to replace it. So you don't keep the car long enough for it to start losing a little bit of value because somebody taught you could just switch cars anytime you want. Buy them and switch them, buy them and switch them. This is a depreciating asset, and you're going to lose every time doing that compared to someone who's getting great lease deals. So if you're not, our rule of thumb is if you're not buying your car to keep it at least 8 years, you should be shopping for great lease deals, not purchases. So you need to know the cause. Now, once a lot of you figure that out, that that's true, and you learn that all of this bad structure has cost you, you're going to lease. You're going to say, Deshone, I'm not keeping my car 8 years. I'm leasing my next car. If you don't have too much negative equity, then what you should be doing is trying to cover the difference. So you're going to do that equity assessment process that I laid out about 10, 15 minutes ago. You're going to do that equity assessment process. If you only have a $1,500 to $2,000, $3,000 difference between your best offer and your highest offer, I mean, let's say you owe 20 grand, but somebody's going to offer you 18, then I would pay off the difference all day long because I'm still winning with a bidding system on there. See, when you get bids, even when you have negative equity, that's still you're still getting the most money for the car you can get, which means your negative equity amount is going to be the lowest it can be. So you always want to explore if I could pay the difference between my highest online offer and my negative equity, that's the best. Because once you can't do that, now you eliminate the ability to be able to participate in a bid because you have to trade. This is the only time where we have to trade because you need somebody to finance that negative equity because you can't pay the difference. You don't have the cash to pay off the negative equity. See, if I know that I can cover my negative equity by selling the car to CarMax and I pay $2,000 and I'm out of it, that means now I can get bids for my replacement car, which is what we do. So I could get the lowest bid for the car I'm buying, the highest bid for the car I'm replacing, the lowest bid for my interest if I'm buying. Once I have to trade because I have too much negative equity, I can't do that. I can only get the bid for the car I'm buying, and then I have to ask that dealer to roll my negative equity into the car that I'm buying. And the problem with that is that dealer is not going to win a bid. So even though CarMax may have been offering you 18, that dealer may only be able to offer you 16. So what would have been $2,000 of negative equity is now $4,000 of negative equity. That's why paying the difference is always best if you want to maximize the deal and get below market deals. That's it. But if you have too much negative equity, you can't do that. Now, it's very important that you understand something regarding the car you're replacing your negative equity with, the next car you're going to buy. You can see Sean uses our bidding strategy. He's in our private group. For all of you who want to know about my private groups and you have to attend, there's people who ask me, who are these people? You must attend my masterclass in order to be eligible to be in our educational course. So this is but what it is my book in video form with coaching. So the 7 steps are the same. Those of you who are using the book to get to your goal, use the book. It's just different ways of learning. So anyway, you can see Sean here he got his bids and he found a car that had a $15,000 rebate. He didn't know that, a $15,500 rebate. So if Sean wanted to bring negative equity over to this vehicle, he's buying the car so low with all the rebates, he could bring over 5, 10, 20 grand of negative equity and he's still going to be able to do it. Because as long as you're getting a big discount, you actually can, the bank is not going to lend 25% more than like 25% more of the car's value. So you can't slap 10 grand of negative equity on a $30,000 car. And the bank is going to look and say, why would we lend $40,000 on a car that's worth 30? There's something called loan to value ratios. It's in all forms of lending, loan to value. So you have a cap based on the price of the car. There's only 25% or so more that the bank is going to lend. So if you're trying to do no money down deals, having too much negative equity prevents those. So this is why we need to get out of negative equity and stay out of it and start leasing. Stop buying your cars. The only time you actually switch from a purchase with negative equity, I own my car and then I'm switching to another car and it's a purchase, not a lease, is if you had like an emergency. You were going to keep the car 8-9 years, but you just had a bunch of kids and now you need a whole different car. It's a life, but if you're not keeping the next car 8+ years, you shouldn't be buying again. You're going to be back in negative equity every time. Okay? All right. Go ahead, Dolan. You can shoot the next question. TikTok, I see y'all. We are live. This is May 7th. This is our 12 p.m. Eastern time show. If y'all can, every couple minutes, if you could tap the screen, if you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the stream, keep running the likes up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. All right. Instagram. My lease on a CX5 is coming up. Car max value is showing 21,000. My buyout is like 18. Should I buy it and keep it? No. Why would you go from a lease with a great, and look, I'm going to talk different on every show because I know some of you are new. Okay. Who's new here? If this is your first time ever on a live broadcast, on a live stream with us, just type the number 1 and then we'll answer the brother's question here. Who's new? All right, I see you, Khaleesi, on TikTok. I see you. If this is your first time on a stream, you've never been on Car Shopping Questions and Answers with us, type new. Okay, I see you, Matt, on Facebook. I see you, Vince, on Facebook. Melanie on YouTube. DJC Square, I see you. Okay, I see you, John, on YouTube. Okay. All right, TikTok quiet today, boy. I never saw TikTok this quiet. They ain't hitting no likes or nothing. That's all right. God bless them. God bless them. All right, so Instagram. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this equity position you're in. Right now, you could sell that lease and make $4,000. Why would you want to go from a lease, which is a not keeping my car 8 years? I want full warranty. I want low payments. I want to drive a lot of car for a low amount of money. Now I can shop for this new deal, get a great deal on the CX5. Just so you know, understand something. CX, look, let me show you something. This was Tiffany rode in, and Tiffany got a Mazda CX50 a couple weeks ago, not too long ago. Look at this. So let me show you just kind of what this could look like in a great world. So you understand, she got a 2024 Mazda CX90. She literally paid 44. The sticker price on it was 44,000. She used our system. She actually wrote. This is a testimonial about the book, so you can see at the top says, "I believe we got a great deal from what we learned from the rest of the book." So look at this. She got bids, $44,800 vehicle. She ended up getting a $6,530 discount. That was her best offer. And then, so her lease payment on this would be incredibly low if there's a good lease program. But you're not going to save this kind of money negotiating. You want to sit at home, get bids, contact at least. We get at least. We don't make a decision until we get 5 to 7 offers. We will not make a decision on a car until we get 5 to 7 offers, because 80% of dealers are overpriced. So you say you can get you might be able to get a lease price on this car for, $400 a month, no money down, for, $450 a month. Something, it might be lower. I don't know what the below market deal on your replacement Mazda is going to be. And then you could actually put that 21.4 in your pocket. So you could say, hey, the difference. So you would sell the car to CarMax for, and you would make $3,400. Just so you know, my mother sold her Mazda 2 years ago when the prices were real high, and she made $10,200. So why would I go from being able to do a deal like that, getting a new car, low payment, no money out of my pocket, put $3,400 from my old lease into my bank account? Why would I want to go from doing that to buying a used car, which is buying a 3-year-old Mazda, which is what you're suggesting when you say, should I buy it and keep it? What about that deal makes it better? If you figure this, Your buyout's 18. What's the payment on $18,000 plus taxes? 20 grand, 21 grand. What's the payment? 400 a month for 5 years. So why would I go and buy a 3-year-old used Mazda for 400 a month when I could go and I could lease a brand new Mazda for 400 a month and then turn around and again, if you're not buying this car to keep another 8 years, it makes no sense to buy a used car right now. It makes zero financial sense. Not only that, you're gonna spend the same amount of money over the years that you could have drove brand new leases for. There's no benefit. There's no benefit. This is what it is. We've seen this thousands of times over the years, hundreds at least. You know, I know it's happening thousands of times. People are buying their leases every day. They're not realizing they're just buying a used car. That's all you're doing. So I go from leasing to buying a used car, which means something in me has to change. Those of you who are buying used cars, you should be buying them to keep 8, 9, 10, 12 years. Not 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You're driving old cars for the same prices you could be driving brand new leases for. Same prices. So why would I drive a bunch of older cars, 5, 6, 7-year-old cars? By the time I pay it off, it's 10 years old, 11. Why would I do that if I could be driving brand new cars for the same prices? So it's important for you to understand. That's why this is the first step in my process is we got to know, should we buy or lease? And the only people who should be buying are 8+ year people. The goal is to keep the car 8 or more years. Then we're going to buy it. Yep. I'm here. I see you. You know, I always butcher your name, but let me just call you EP. EP, I see you. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. We got a couple more minutes. We're on here for a couple more minutes. How do you negotiate a purchase online? Looking at a car 3 hours away and I'm not able to go in person. So what I would do if you've done all the research to make sure that car is a great below market price, if that's a below market price, then what I would do is I would call and verify that there's no fake fees that are not online. So when you see a car that has a $28,000 price, we're going to call and make sure that what the fees are should only be tax, title, documentation fee. Tax, motor vehicle fees, and documentation fee should be the only prices, only fees. And once I verify that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home. I'm going to get out there immediately, and I'm going to see the car. And if it's a great price where I'm saving $2,000-3,000 above below the market value on those cars, then I'll go out there and I'll make sure that I post up in a motel for one day, because you never want to go out there and take the car immediately, because unless you're paying cash. If you are paying cash, that's different. But if you're getting a loan, we need at least one day to do our bank bidding process. Because you could go out there and say, all right, now this is the best price on a used car. Yeah, but now I'm going to pay 2 points, 3 points more in interest, letting the dealer get me the loan. So I'm essentially giving that $2,500 or $3,000 that I saved right back to the bank. I'm not giving it to the dealer, but whoever the bank is. So we always need one day to come home, let banks and credit unions bid so we could get the lowest interest rate. And then we call that dealer and we let them bid against it. But that depends on how you're going to pay. But that's the process. You get out there, you test drive the car. That's why all of our used car research is done from home. All of our used car research is done from home. By the time we get to the dealer, the only thing we're doing is going there to test drive the car and lock up the deal. The prices we've already verified is the lowest prices in the market. So once we verify there's no bogus fees, that's our process for wrapping up the deal. That's right, man. You know I'm always watching and unlearning and relearning, boss man. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, EP. Always a pleasure. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Yeah, some of you are looking for your used cars locally. There's no way you're getting the best prices. If some of you are looking for your used cars 25 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles, there's no way you are getting you're getting below market prices. That's just not enough inventory to look at for you to see, Oftentimes, it's literally a dealer that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away who may not be in the city. They don't have the traffic that that person has, and oftentimes they'll have a below market deal because of their particular circumstance. So if you're just shopping 10, 25, 50 miles outside of your radius, that's just not enough of a radius to get the below market deals. My brother leases up, he's over miles. Equity assessment. That's it. I just went over that about 20 minutes ago. I can't go over it again because there's people who watch the stream and it's not fair to them, but we do have this stream on replay. If you go to YouTube or if you go to my Deshone the Auto Advisor Facebook page, and you can find the section that I did only on that. Okay, it's called the equity assessment. We had another person on here that's over miles. And, once you do that equity assessment, then you want to weigh that, compare that to what the mileage penalty is. Because some people, the mileage penalty is only going to be $750, $1,000, $1,500. You could have that rolled into your next lease offer. What you do is just negotiate your best lease offer and then say, hey, look, I need you to cut a check for, $1,500 to my old lease company. Now that's going to raise your payment. So if I got a below market deal, let's say, give you an example. Let me show you with a real life example. So, so Charles, let's say Charles, he gets his Hyundai Palisade, he gets it for $597 a month, but he has a mileage penalty of, $1,500 that he needs. This dealer who won his business, he needs them to pay that to his old lease. So they're going to cut a check for $1,500, but that payment, that $1,500 now goes into his new deal. So it's just like negative equity. It's going to raise your payment up, which is why we bid this out and we don't bring stuff over. We don't bring mileage penalties over until we have already found the dealer that we're going to buy our car from, because they've given us the biggest discount. But yeah, that's what you would do. And whatever the mileage penalty is, you're adding it to your next lease. So you're paying it either way is the point. You're not getting out of a mileage penalty. It's just all about and the only way you can get out of it is if you sell the car. So that is how you get out of it. Because when I sold my Jeep Grand Cherokee lease, I was over miles by probably, I think I had 42,000 miles on it, and I contracted for like 39. But that's because I extended the lease. And when I extended the lease, I was doing more driving, and I just said, I knew I had so much equity in the car, because again, that's when cars were worth literally $7,000 to $12,000 more all through the pandemic. 2020, 2021, 2022, we had people cashing out, making $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. Some of you might have saw some of our videos and used what we were teaching then. So once you do that, that's the only way you get out of a mileage penalty is you sell the vehicle, and then it's all whole. But if you're not doing that, that mileage penalty is going to be paid. It's just what I just told you is a way to get the deal done without having to pay the mileage penalty out of your pocket. You're rolling it into your next deal. All right, go ahead, Dolan. All right, y'all, this is our Tuesday 12 p.m. stream. We're on here for a few more minutes. Keep your questions coming. Try to get to as many as we can. Everything I'm teaching y'all, if you guys do not want to remember this, if you're like, Deshone, I want something where I can see step-by-step your plan, you want to go to deshonesbook.com. We got the banner on the screen. If you're watching us on TV, you can scan the QR code with your phone, and you can get my new book. It's a digital book called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships for 75% off. So you'll get it for $24. You won't pay the normal $97, but it's only for 30 minutes, okay? After 30 minutes, it's normal price. You guys that are on TikTok, you can get yours in my TikTok bio. There's a website there, as well as in Instagram, my Instagram bio. All right, get your 75% off if you don't want to get it, if you don't want to remember any of this. All right, so Guitar Jams, YouTube, what's the best price to negotiate over sticker price? For example, a car is a $26,000 sticker, but I'm only wanting to put $27,000 in cash. Is $1,000 difference enough to avoid all BS fees? See, that's a problem. See, let me show you how you're actually hurting yourself by doing this. You're not getting bids. You're not getting multiple offers. If you're looking at a new car like this, a $44,000 car, You go in and you assume what a good deal is going to be. We never assume what a good deal is going to be. We have to reveal what a good deal is by getting multiple offers from home. So we sit at home. In my way, we use the computer and we're going online and we're going to dealers' websites. I have scripts in my book. So all you're doing is copying, pasting my scripts to use this. Now, if you're doing it your way, you just want to make sure your goal, you could do it by phone. I don't care how you do it, but your goal is to get 5 offers. Because until you get 5 offers on these new cars and on these leases, you're not going to ever know what the best deal really is. Because 80% of dealers are overpriced. So when you look at something like this, if you said, okay, $44,820 car, like the one I got on the screen. If you went in there saying, well, I only want to pay $46,000 all in. Look at what she paid. She paid net $40,300. Look, this was her base price. She got $38,289. Her net price was $40,300. So if you would have went in here on this car saying, well, it's 44, look, I'll give you 46,000 all in. You would literally have overpaid more than Tiffany by $6,000. Let that sink in. You can't go in feeling for the bottom, brother. You will certainly get somebody will take a vacation on you. Their commission they're gonna make, well, that's probably an $8,000 profit deal to the dealer, $6,000 profit to $8,000 profit, and somebody's getting a $1,500 commission on you because you just went in. Oh, let me guess what I think a good price is going to be. Not knowing if there's any rebates on the car, not knowing anything about it. I'm just going to guess. Look, what if Sean would have went in? Look, what if Sean would have went in talking about, this truck is $73,000. I'm gonna offer them $73,000, but they gotta include all the tax, all the fees. I'll give you the asking price, but you gotta include all the tax and fees in. Look, he ended up getting with bids $57,000. He would have overpaid by $20,000, $15,000. And I'm sorry to tell you that some of you are doing it every day. You've done it on all your cars. You've overpaid, not using these strategies. And I want you to stop. You're free to do what you want to do. You want to stay in the old way. But the people that you see that are getting these deals, these people that are posting, listen, when you get a great deal, you post the deal. See, when you get a car, pay attention, yo. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. It's very important. When you actually have strategy to get great deals, you actually post the deal. This is our private group where we post our deals. Look, people are not just happy about the car. Look, Eddie, I ended up getting multiple offers, got a Toyota Camry hybrid. This was last year when these cars were literally on fire. Look, quote, getting quotes as high as 10 grand over sticker. Look, I got $2,086 under sticker. $10,000 over sticker was his highest quote for this Toyota Camry hybrid. There are people who paid that. There are people that paid 5 grand over sticker for the same car Eddie got. There are people who paid sticker. Thought they were getting the best deal. Man, I got mine for sticker. He got his $2,086. Some of you who might see this broadcast, you might have said, you might have the same car. Deshone, wow, man, I got that same car. I paid 4 grand over sticker to get mine. Yeah, Eddie at the same time, same year, paid $2,086. Sorry to tell you, but you overpaid by 4 or 5 grand. This is real. We're not sitting up here doing this talking about hundreds. There's nothing y'all hear me talk about in these streams that had hundreds of dollars. And frankly, unless you are rich, you can't afford to lose $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every time you buy a car. You can't afford it. This is where you're losing. So what I would tell you, Guitar Jams, is do what I just said over the last 10 minutes. Get bids. If you want the system for doing it, that's in my book. If you want to do it your way, I don't care how you do it. Just get at least 5 to 7 offers so that you can see where the best offer truly is. 8 out of 10 dealers are overpriced, and you don't know how bad they're overpriced until you get all your offers. 10 grand overpriced, 5 grand overpriced. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. Great question, though. Can you get a deal when you build your own car? Absolutely, Sherry, but you want to get those offers before you agree to buy something from anybody. So if I'm ordering a car, I'm getting 5 offers, 10 offers. I'm getting 5 to 7 offers, not 10 offers. See, in my book, I have a process called the 25 to 5, where we connect with 25 dealers online in 20 minutes. And our goal is to get 5 to 7 offers in 48 hours. So once that happens, we don't order a car until we verify the car doesn't exist in the market. See, because when you walk into a dealership or call 2 dealerships and they say, oh, we don't have that car, but we could order it for you. Now, what are you doing? You only talk to 2 dealers. What about in the 25 dealers that we talk to? What if 7 of them or 10 of them have that car? So you just talked to 2. Now they got you ordering a car. We don't order until we talk to these 25 dealers online and they tell us, hey, nobody has it, or it's only 2 out there, then we might order. But that car could be sitting right around the corner from you, or 30 minutes away from you. People could have 5 of them. An hour away from you, people got 3 more of them. But because you're just local, you think, oh, I need to order this. We don't order until all of those dealers tell us we don't have that car. And then when we send out our order request, we're getting quotes from all those dealers. So we're getting probably at least 10 offers. When we go to order, we're probably getting 10 offers because all of those dealers we've already been talking to. And any of them could order us a car. I had a young lady 2 years ago, no, last year, the new BMW came out, the new BMW X4M, and she got quotes. And to order, nobody wanted to give her below sticker price. Some were higher than sticker. The person who won the bid was giving her $3,000 below sticker. But the car had a bad lease program though, so she ended up not getting it. But $3,000 below sticker. If she was purchasing that car, that would have been a ridiculous deal. Brand new BMW, new body style, $3,000 below sticker. But that's bids. And we do that in 45, 60 minutes. Before you even get home from the grocery store, we already got the bids, and we're not putting in 60 to 90 minutes to get this done. So my process is not just money, it's time. I don't want to spend more than 60 minutes to get a car. And I could get any car, any price. All of these people that you're seeing, Danielle, Kimberly, Bonita, all these people right here, Charles, they could get that Zafrina, they could get these cars, they could get these same deals that y'all seeing, and they're probably 90 minutes. Some of them might be 60 minutes because it was their first time, second time, some of them. Second time you get it, you're probably 60 minutes because it's a repetitive process. Getting a car, getting these bids is so repetitive, you'll see. This is what I should have been doing years ago. I don't know why. So easy. All right, go ahead, Dola. Shoot the next one in. What's up, Sus? Ralph Morales. K. Michelle, I see you. That's not the K. Michelle, I know. What's up, John? I see you. Steps if the lease has a third-party restriction. So if the lease has a third-party restriction, we're going to get bids from whatever dealerships make the car. So if there's a Nissan and I have equity, if I have $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 in equity, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call and I'm going to get bids from the local dealers, because a third-party restriction means that it doesn't mean you can't sell the car. It means you could only sell to a local dealer who makes the car. So we still get bids. We get 3 to 5 offers from used car managers. And whoever makes us the best offer gets the car. And then they'll cut us the check for any equity that's in the car. But we always need to get the offers online, because that's going to tell us if we should even be pursuing. If we don't have any equity, or it's at a break even online, there's no reason for us we don't have any equity in the car. We're just going to return the lease. But the process of doing this is to prevent what a lot of people have done. You dropped off your car 2020, 2021, 2022 at a dealership. If you dropped your old lease off and you didn't do an equity assessment, chances are you gave up a lot of money. And some of you are like, well, Deshone, I did that. I gave them back my old car, but then they gave me a great deal on a new one. You have no idea how much equity they used out of that car or how much they kept. It was, like I said, my mother had $10,200 in equity. She could have literally, they could have gave her, if we would have went into a dealer, they might have gave her 4,000 of the equity and kept 4,000 if we were lucky. So, doing an equity assessment before the lease in process is to prevent giving away any equity when we drop off our lease. All right, go ahead, Dolan. This is our Tuesday, May 7th live show, 12 p.m. If you don't see the banner above me, that means we're live. So you can type your question. Dolan will bring them in. We got another couple minutes. Hey, Deshone, currently in talks with dealers for a good offer. Thanks for all your help. Great. I feel empowered and confident I'll get the best price. Get the book, everybody. Stop leaving money on the table. Thank you, Nico Smooth. See, it's empowerment. It's the only way to feel empowered. You are not going to feel empowered going and negotiating with a car salesman. Anytime you're working with us, it's already set up for you to leave not able to guarantee you got the best deal. Nico Smooth, he's going to guarantee it. I don't know if that's a woman or man, but they're going to guarantee it because they're getting offers. They're getting offers. If you went in, if you had to buy a 100-inch TV and you just went out right now and the first store you found that had one, you just paid it. Or you looked and said, man, I think that's a good price. 100-inch, man, that's only, $900. I feel like that's a great price. Meanwhile, you didn't look on Amazon. Amazon had a better brand for, $200, $300 less. Or Amazon had the same brand, or Walmart had a better brand for $300 less, or Best Buy. These are the same principles. It's impossible for you to go into a car dealership and get a good deal and you don't know the market. The market you only know through getting offers. Once you get the offers, you see what the best market prices are and you pick the lowest one. That's how you get the below market offer. So I'm glad, Nico. Enjoy, and definitely send us your success story. Just like Tiffany did, email me your success story when you get that offer and you close that deal out. Way to go. Go ahead, Dolan. What's up, Todd Billions? Do you need to check dealers in other states? I live in Florida. Depends. We will go with, all right, so some people will do my strategy is called the 25 to 5. We're connecting with 25 dealers online. Some people, they do it through offers. If the state is not too big, maybe their 25 dealers is all, if the state is really big, maybe the 25 dealers are all in the state. But some people, they might only have 12 dealers in their state, and so they're going cross state lines, and that's very common. That's very common. If you look at Sean posted in our group, and he said he ended up expanding his search to 150 miles outside his area to find this deal. He said, I'm going to another state to pick this up, which is something I never would have thought of before, or would have before he attended the class. So he attended my master class. All of you who want to attend my free master class, it's called Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. You can go to my TikTok bio, and you can go to my Instagram bio. We have a comment in the comment section for you guys who are on Facebook or YouTube. But this is, the local business is going to die. When you see and you shop online the first time properly, you're going to find out that the local business is going to be dead to you unless they win the bid. And you're not going to be committed to local anymore, because look, Sean is driving to another state because his best offer, it saves him $4,000. So no other dealer near him made him the other offer. This dealer that's in another state made him, and it's $4,000 better. So literally, if he has to drive 4 hours, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, he's literally making $1,000 an hour. This is the money we talk, big money talk. So yeah, go as far as you need to get 5 to 7 offers and get the below market deals tied. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up, brother. Great question. This is Charles Harris on YouTube. How are you? Hey, Deshone, why you don't have PayPal for a payment method? Um, that's a great question. We've used PayPal probably twice since we started our company in 2021. We just found that Stripe was a better company to work with for the business. We do have, I believe we have Klarna. So for those of you who are familiar with Klarna, they'll let you break up the payments interest free. For the book or any product we sell, we make Klarna available for the last year. But PayPal is just a little different to work with. We've enjoyed working with Stripe. So hope that helps. Go ahead, Dolan. Right, we just hit the hour mark. Got a couple more. We'll try to take a couple more before we wrap. Lenice from Instagram. By the way, everybody, if you just jumped on, this is our Tuesday, May 2nd, May 7th, rather, 12 p.m. live. So we are live. So feel free to ask your questions. If you don't see the banner above me, then that means we're live and you can type your questions. Is purchasing a car from Enterprise Car Sales a good idea? If in order for me, when we're shopping for used cars, like I have this used Infinity truck. We got it a year ago. It was 2020, so it was 3 years old. When we found that car, when I narrow it down to my top 3 to 5 used car options, they have the best title histories, the best service records, the best accident records. They're the best price in the market. They're below market. And then I verify what the brand new price was, because you can't know a car is great until you know the new car price. Because if a car was 50,000 and they're asking 30, that's different than a car that was 55,000 and they're asking 30. The $55,000 one has more value, has more equipment, more options, so it's a better value. So it's impossible to get a great deal on a used car without knowing what the original price was. So you might have picked a car that's, this one is 30,000, but again, the original price was 50. Meaning, while another one might be 31,000, it's $1,000 more, but the original price was 55 or 57. So you got to know what was in the new car price to be able to compare when we're getting. So if I narrowed it down and that Enterprise car was in that bunch, I'm not opposed to it as long as it has great service records, great accident history, great title records. But the title is going to show as a rental. So when I say great title history, you got frame damage, you got salvage titles, you got rebuilt titles, cars that have been totaled, rebuilt. You have different forms of title: personal lease, personal vehicle, corporate lease. These are all different categories of title. So if you get one that has a rental, then that price needs to be considerably less than the other cars on my list. That's the only way I would look at it. Great service records, great accident records, and then compared to the other cars in my bunch, it's got to be $2,000 less than them. 1,500, 2,000 less. So that's the only time I consider it. Go ahead, Dolan. Now, the way we shop for new cars and leases in my book, and the way I teach, is the 25 to 5 strategy. That's when we're connecting with 25 dealers online to get 5 offers, 5 to 7 offers, 25 to 5. When we shop for used cars, we're using my multiple marketplace strategy. So we're going on every marketplace that has used cars, 8 of them: CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, eBay Motors, Car Gurus, Cars.com, Carfax.com, Autotrader.com. We're going on all 8 marketplaces because these marketplaces have different prices, different inventory, and that's how we shop it, and we narrow it down from there. All right, Fo from TikTok. Best way to trade a vehicle and not be upside down. We already had 2 questions about negative equity. So what you want to do, Fo, is either go to YouTube and go to Facebook. The replays are there once we end the show. Just find somebody who had that same question. Somebody asked about replacing a car that they had negative equity on. Upside down, negative equity, same thing. Just 2 different terms. Go ahead, Dolan. Everybody getting value out of the show. If you're getting value out of the stream, type $signs, type a $sign. If you're getting value out of the stream, type a $sign. All right, everybody getting value? All right, I see you. Perfect. Good. Good. I see you, John. I see you, Tracy. All right, I see you, Sterling. Yep. I see you, Charlene. I see you, EP. Perfect. Glad everybody's getting value. Charlene said, thanks for the education. I just finished the first read of your book. Now I will start the process to buy a new car following the 7 steps. Congratulations, Charlene. Way to go. Now, some people choose to go the book step by step. So the last step that Charlene just said, step 7 is delivery. So you're not really getting, some people do this. And it depends on how you learn. The book is set up in a way where everything I teach is set up in a way when y'all hear 7 steps, it's set up where if we talked on the phone, I would be saying, do this first, call me back. Do this second, call me back. Do this third. And then by the time we get to step 7, we're setting up for delivery or the pickup of the car. So some people never read the whole book. They just do 1 step at a time and they never see step 7, me congratulating them for delivery until they are at that step. Some people read the book straight through and then come back and do the steps. So whichever way you decide is up to you. The quickest way to your car, the quickest way is to just do 1 step at a time and then not read forward until you get to that step. But everyone learns different, and everybody, that's just if you want the quickest way, you want to get a car in literally 48 hours, don't read the whole book. Read 1 action step at a time, cross it off the list, and get it done. And then you'll have your car in 48, 72 hours. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. TikTok, using your book, all of these lease prices I received are too high, over 1.5%. Next step. Well, as I mentioned, once you get 5 to 7 offers, that means that car has a bad lease program. Not the brand, the car. So that Jaguar has several cars. That particular one, and it could be that trim level, has a bad lease program, in which case I always say with leases, we want to have at least 2 to 3 options because we cannot control the lease program. So whatever the dealer was, so if you see a 1.5% lease, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, then that 1.6, that dealer's beating everyone else. They're selling you the car less than everyone else. But if they're at 1.6, then that means their lease program is bad. That's why we always get 5 to 7 offers. If they're all over 1.5, that means the lease program is bad. And we do not lease cars with bad leasing programs. We go to our next choice because you'll see, literally, it's day and night. A $60,000 car could have one lease price of $900, and then you have a $65,000 car like Frena got. $65,000 vehicle, she paying $579 a month. 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Got it a little while back. So this is, lease programs make the difference. What we do is use bids to get the lowest price on the cars. We're gonna always get that. But once we can't control the lease program. So we always have 3 options. With purchasing, we don't need 3 options because once we get our bids, we're gonna just find a dealer that's gonna be the lowest. Nothing else matters. We don't need to worry about a lease program. Go ahead, Dolan. German Tink from TikTok, I see you. If our credit is not good, I feel like we don't have room to negotiate. True? No, your credit, you do. You see, again, we're mixing the loan with the price of the car we're buying. That's where you're going to overpay. Because if you have a loan, you have bad credit, the only thing that should be affected is the interest you pay on the loan. That should be between you and the bank, the lender, not between you and the dealer. So what your job to do is, if you have bad credit, the lender you get your loan from is going to tax you for it. You're going to pay higher interest than what someone with good credit would pay. But what you should not be doing is overpaying for the car because you didn't get bids. So you can get bids for your car, and then you can use a company that gets deals done, that gets people loans, even with bad credit. And you know, I use Limbuzz. I recommend Limbuzz. I don't use them. I recommend them. So you could either, pay a high interest rate and get a great price on the car, or you could do what most people do: get a bad price on the car and pay a high interest rate because they're going and they're shopping desperately. So in my process, we would get with Limbuzz, get our pre-approval with Limbuzz, and then we would go and we would shop and get bids to make sure we're finding the lowest price on the car. See, once you learn what we're doing and you start doing what I'm telling you, using what we're talking about here, you're going to see the car price is independent from the loan. You've been taught to focus on the loan, which is how much my monthly payment is going to be. Oh, am I going to not be able to negotiate? The car's price we're negotiating has nothing to do with the loan we're going to use to buy it. Okay? So everything that I taught from today, guys, is in my book. It's my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. You saw it if you were here earlier. We're rated 4.94 on Goodreads.com. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book and gave us 5-star reviews. You can get your copy in my TikTok bio for 75% off. That's $24. It'll be in your email in 2-3 minutes, in my Instagram bio. But don't let that timer run out, because then the price does go back up to $97. You can get yours for 30 minutes. And the same thing online here on YouTube, Facebook. We have the banner here. You can scan this QR code with your phone if you're watching us on TV. And this is what we do, y'all. We do these shows throughout the day. You can see on what time we'll be live. So we'll be back for the next one shortly. And make sure when you see us, you hop on and ask your questions, all right? But let's go get these deals. Shout out to everybody who's committed to unlearning and relearning. In order for you to win with what we just talked about, you have to unlearn the way you were taught to car shop. You have to unlearn that and relearn the new way. All right? God bless y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal. So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
In the next 12 months, if you are car shopping now, or in the next 12 months, I want you to type a 1 in the chat as you come in. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. I do these live streams throughout the week to answer questions when it comes to car buying the new way. We've been doing this, helping people really since 2021 through education. And so we teach an entirely new way to car shop. A way that has worked for thousands of people before you. And I do these live streams so that you can ask your car shopping questions, and we can try to get you the answers that you need to help you get below market prices, which is the only thing we settle for. So thank you to the people who are tapping the screen on TikTok, running up the likes. I appreciate it. We have Dolan moderating in the back, so you guys can start typing your questions. Everything I'll be talking about is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Thank you to all who have reviewed the book on Goodreads, putting the review page up now. Thank you for helping us have pretty much a 5-star rating And everyone, as you're watching this, you can get your copy. If you like what you're hearing, if you like this new way that you're going to hear on these streams of how to car shop, you can get your copy of my digital book for 75% off in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, or we have a banner up for you guys. Or you can go to deshonsbook.com. So no matter where you're at, that's your special offer. All right. So Dolan, you can bring the first question in. I see you, Paper Chaser. Welcome to the broadcast. I see you, Benjamin, on TikTok. I see you. First time people. Welcome to all the first time people. If you your first time here, type of 1. Mario Soto, I see you on YouTube. Welcome. This is Chris on Facebook. Hey, Deshone, are dealerships willing to order a car for you if they don't have a car with the options you want? Everyone is usually willing to order a car because every dealer can order. But you want to make sure whenever you're getting an order quote, you're getting at least 5 offers. 80% of dealers are overpriced. So you want to make sure you're always getting on a brand new car 5 offers. And then you'll see how different they are. I had somebody who, I think we're on episode 17. This is episode 17 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. So on last episode, I spoke about a young lady who ordered a BMW when it first came out last year, the new body style new body style X4. And through bids, she saw multiple offers. Most dealers were charging her $2,000 over sticker price. But once she got her 5 offers, at least 5, she probably got set 5 to 7. Her best offer was $3,000 below sticker. So I always say when you're shopping the right way, it should be a $3,000 to $5,000 to sometimes $7,000 difference between your best offer, which is the below market offer, and your highest offer, which is, the highest of all the other offers. So that's when you know you're shopping correctly. So make sure when you're ordering, you're following that model so you can make sure you're getting your best price. And you do this right from home. You could do it by phone, or you could do it my way, which is using the dealer's computer, the dealer's websites. We do copy and paste models to get quotes directly with dealers, speaking with them on their website. So as long as you do it, that's all that matters. All right, great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Let me open up my phone on Instagram. My phone battery is low, but hope. Okay. Yes, everybody. This is our Tuesday 7 p.m. live stream. So this is live. Whenever you guys don't see the banner above me, then that means we're absolutely live, and you can ask your questions. We rebroadcast these streams all through the day, so you can send your friends, family to them. But whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means we're actually live, so you can ask questions. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. This is from TikTok. I need a new truck. Any advice? Or the first thing, all right, I'm getting ready to tell you the first thing you think about when you are in your position. And this is the first thing that all of you should have thought about. If you haven't thought about this yet, you've already skipped something that is very important. The first step in my process is always to ask ourselves the most important question. Does anybody know? I know we may have a lot of new people on here, but does anybody know what the most important question is? It's probably going to take you too long to type it. So I just want to see if anybody knows what the most important question is. I'll give you guys maybe 5 to 8 seconds to chime in some answers. Can I afford it? That's a good one, but no, that's not the most important question. That comes a little later in the process. Come on, Benjamin, Charlie. Am I keeping the car 8 years? My man, way to go right there. DM me, man. I'm gonna get you a free copy of my book because I like that. All right, that's the most important question. Just DM me on TikTok. I can't read DMs, y'all. So if you actually have DM me, 99% of the time, I'm not gonna see it because I have a team that helps me with my social media. So I'm not seeing DMs because we just get way too many throughout the day. But in your case, yes, send me that. Yes, but that's the most important question because here's the thing. The first thing you want to think about is how long you're going to keep it because you're about to buy something that's going to go down in value. You're not going to get the most value out of it until after 7 years. that's when you're going to get the most value. Everything before that, who knows, when I break these things out, I'm showing you the depreciation curve. And this is how your vehicle is losing value. So if you buy a new vehicle, it's losing value like this. If you buy a used vehicle, it may be losing value like this, but it's going down thousands of dollars every year. So until you keep the car long enough, some of you are just not keeping your cars long enough to win, because you're turning around and replacing your cars while it's still like this. You're still losing $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 a year, depending on the price of the car, in depreciation. Now, when you keep your car long term, you're going to beat depreciation, because eventually your car starts to, like, who has a car outside right now that's at least 8 years old? Who has a car outside right now that's at least 8 years old? Type how many years old the car is. I just want to demonstrate something, because if you skip over this, you're not going to be able to get a good deal. You can forget it. I'm telling you right now, I call this the most important question. If you get this wrong, forget about getting a good deal. It's impossible. And I'm going to explain why. This is not, if some of you are new here, I don't need to hype anything up. I love math. So I make math simple. You might not love math. I love math. And I know that when it comes to cars and buying versus leasing, it's a numbers thing. It's a math thing. And I'm telling you that if you're not going to keep your car long enough for the depreciation to level out, like you can see Chris here on Facebook, he has a car 10 years. Carlos, 10 years. Tyranny on YouTube, 10 years. Okay. Yep, I see you. Kura Cindy on Instagram, 14 years. Jeff Walkus, YouTube, 15 years. Now pay very close attention to this. You'll notice that the way the amount your car is worth today, it's going to be worth almost the same thing next year. It's going to be worth almost the same thing next year. If your car right now is worth, if it's 9 years old and it's worth $8,000, a year from now it's probably going to be worth $7,600. That's when you have beat depreciation. Tap the screen on TikTok if that makes sense. See, if your car is only losing, some of you see these answers, until you are actually keeping your car long enough. It's not about when you pay off the car. A lot of people think that that's the car's paid off. It doesn't matter. The value of the car is going down. This is why I call this the unseen expense. Depreciation is the unseen expense. And so how do we beat it? You can't replace the car in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Can't replace it. You have to replace it either after that, or if you're not going to keep it that long, you should be shopping for a lease. And I'm going to show you the numbers before we move on from this. I'm going to make this point very clear. Now, this is step 1 in my book. This is why if you don't get this step, you cannot get a great deal on a car. So Instagram, I just want to let y'all know that if you're enjoying what we're doing, there's a button that looks like a paper airplane at the bottom of the screen. If you could hit that and just quickly in 10 seconds, tap 3 friends or 1 friend, anyone, I don't care. Just invite people over, because I know they'll appreciate it. Because a lot of you guys have friends right now that are outside in dealerships getting overcharged as we speak. So when you look at long term, here's what you need to see. Look at this. And I'm going to show you to end this question from TikTok, and why this is what I call the most important question. It's the first question: how many years am I keeping the car? Because look at this. I'm going to use an example of this lease deal that Zafrina just got. So now Frina she shops for a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a $65,000 truck. She got an incredible steal on this vehicle. Her payment is $579 a month on a $65,000 truck. No money down. So she did this. She got bids. You're not negotiating for these deals. So I'm just telling you, if you guys want to get these deals, you need to use what I'm teaching you. If you want to get it step by step, it's in my book, in my TikTok bio for 75% off. You won't even leave the broadcast on TikTok. You can get your book for $24 and you'll have everything I teach step by step. And same thing on Instagram, in my Instagram bio. You can get it for 75% off for 30 minutes. So I want to show you guys this. And you know what? That lease deal is too great. I don't even want to use that. Let me use something that our average people are getting no problem. Because Zafrina's lease deal was just ridiculous. $579, $65,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. From home, by the way. 60 minutes. Maybe she put in 90 minutes. It was her first time using this stuff. 90 minutes. So Danielle got $550 a month. First payment was all she gave them. So there was no money down. She got an Audi A3, $44,000 new vehicle. She's paying $550 a month. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Danielle gets this sitting at home. And look, she said, due to circumstances, because some people like Deshone, she might have had time, a lot of time to do this. You know, I need a car in like 30 days. But she said, due to circumstances out of my control, she posted this in our Facebook group. I had to lease something quickly. Yep. I took the course last week. And now, by the way, my book is my course. So don't think you have to get my Maps Academy to get this. My course is 7 steps in video form with coaching from me. My book is 7 steps in book form, and they're the exact same steps with the exact same scripts. So it's just how you, some people like Deshone, I win with the book, like Tiffany, other people who review, and some people do this. So it's all the same. It's just different learning. So the point is, I want to show y'all something. We're making a point here. So she got $550 a month, $44,000 car. How much is every $5,000 on a car loan, everybody? If you're looking, some of you have seen this in a video before. Every $5,000 that when you look at a car, you see it's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. How much is every $5,000 on a car loan monthly payment? Let's see if anybody's seen this. I'll give you guys another. Thank you, Nico Smooth. $100, perfect. Carlos Thomas, $100. Yes. So that is BG Meats. Yes, $100. Perfect. Perfect. Blooming Chosen One. Perfect. See, so this is why this is important for those of you who are going to purchase, not those of you who are going to lease. You need to know when you look at a car, if you see it and it says $20,000, you need to know that that is about $400 a month. $25,000 is about $500 a month, depending on the interest rate. Great interest rate, you could drop it a little lower. But average interest rate, that's what you need to be looking at. And you need to be, that assumes a 5-year loan. Because some people say, well, Deshone, if I take a 6-year loan, no, it'll be lower. But 6-year loans should be the max. See, there's different ways to budget. If I budget $500 a month and I say, well, how much car does that get me on a loan? 25 grand. Now that's for 5 years. So if I go find a car for 25 for $500 a month for 5 years, I did better than if I got a car for $500 a month for 6 years. So there's different ways to raise your budget. I have something in my book called The Perfect Budget. I created a calculator. It walks you through what I just said. See, what I just said is very important. Knowing how much you can spend if you get a 5-year loan, and then saying, all right, if necessary, I'll go with a 6-year loan and bump myself up, but I'm still below my max budget. But I'm not going $500 a month for 6 years. Can y'all tap the screen and run the likes up on TikTok? Keep running them up if y'all getting value out of what we're doing. So we're still making a very good point here, okay? I'm spending really most of this stream going deep on the first question. And I've never done this before, so we'll see if it works. If somebody said I have a new truck, new advice, any advice? So I went right into the most important question, which is leasing versus buying. How many years am I going to keep the car? And I'm now showing you why you cannot get a great deal on a car if you buy when you should have leased. So let's wrap this up. So we can see here, Danielle got $550 a month on an Audi, no money down. Now let's take the same vehicle and let's pretend she purchased it. She didn't know about leasing versus buying. She just listened to a bunch of people, bad advice, who say never lease a car. So she goes in, she's looking for the same Audi Q3, A3. It's her dream car. So, I've been wanting this for a while. So excited. So how much is this going to be? I'd like to do no money down. Okay. Well, $44,000 car. Forget the taxes. Forget everything. Let's just say, forget that. Let's say they throw that in. We'll pay the tax and everything. Let's say she just finances $45,000. What's her payment? $900. Some of you who are in the math, you would like Deshone, yeah, $900. So she drives out of there. She drives out of there paying $900 for the same car Danielle's paying $550 a month for. Now watch this. Let's just say, now I'm going to show you because I know what you're thinking. Deshone, please send my free book. Okay, I got you. DM me though. So I want to stay on topic here. All right, so let's just say some of you are like, well, Deshone, I got a great deal on my last car. I wouldn't pay the same price that Danielle could pay for. Let's say, what's an unbelievable deal on this $44,000 brand new Audi? How much discount? I'm gonna let y'all decide. I'm gonna show you why there is no way for you to get a great deal when you purchase when you should have leased. We're gonna kill this. Some of you are gonna be set free right now. So let's just say, what's a great price? $44,000 brand new Audi Q4 A3. What's just a ridiculous discount? How much off? Let's say like the best deal that you could ever think on a brand new car. Look, all right, it's taking y'all a while to type. We're looking. What's up? Heck, none of y'all ever saved money on a car before? Some people, oh, Deshone, I didn't think we could get discounts on cars. All right, I like that. Nico Smooth, I like that. Let's say the person got $10,000 off. Okay? They got $35,000, which is essentially, let's say they got $35,000. The car is $44,000. So let's say they got $9,000 off, which is essentially 20% off the price of the car. Just brand new, nice, popular car. They catch the dealer sleeping, getting bids from home. $10,000, $9,000 off, $35,000. That's what they're getting the car for. Put your taxes on there, because now we're already being super unrealistic. We're not gonna be ridiculously. Let's just say taxes are on there. You know what? Let's just say no. How about this? Not only did she get 20% off, they paid the taxes too. So she really got like $13,000 off. We'll pay the taxes too. Just finance $35,000 even. What's her payment? The most ridiculous new car deal we could ever imagine you've ever seen, we just went over. To show you, no matter how good this is, she still is about to lose because she's purchasing and she should be leasing. Watch this. And I'm going to tell you, when the person who purchases wins, $700. Thank you, paper chasers. Lisa, $650. Those are the estimates. Where do we win at? Imagine if I just gave y'all a ridiculously unreal situation that will never ever happen, but just to illustrate, if that ever happened, 20% off the car, pay the taxes, her payment's still higher than Danielle leasing. So when does the person who buys win? When they keep the car long enough to outlive the depreciation. Very simple. 8 years. 8 years. It's no comparison. So like you're sitting there and you're like, Deshone, I bought my last car and I've been buying cars all my life. I was just taught you buy your cars, you don't lease them, but I never keep them more than 8 years. If that's you, I want you to type a sad face. You've lost a lot of money. So what would you rather? Would you rather never hear about this, really go all your life listening to bad advice? And we might wrap this because we still got time. Before we even go back into more questions, we actually may go a little, because some of you are like, Deshone, well, what if you buy a new car, a used car? Because you just compared that to a new car. All right. So let's just go back one more time. Let's pull up Danielle because we're on that scenario. So we already said Danielle drove out with a $550 a month lease, paid her first month's payment. Best impossible deal that'll never happen, unrealistic, made up, make-believe deal we just ran was still a higher monthly payment. So imagine with somebody who just goes in regular negotiations, maybe gets $2,000 off the list price. They're leaving paying it's people right now paying $800 a month for this car, $700 a month, easy, no money down. If they didn't put money down, some people tell you, oh, you know, well, I'm paying I got an Audi and I'm paying only $6,000 for it. They never tell you that they put 10 grand down. They never tell you that they put 10 grand down. They forget about that because the day they give the dealer 10 grand, they want to forget about it. So they're definitely not going to bring it up in the story. No money down deals. This is what you're doing most times when you're leasing. So let's go back. Let's say somebody decides they're going to get a good price on a used one. Let's just throw this scenario in here real quick to end this. Instead of a $44,000 brand new one, they find one for like 28. Great used car price, 44,000 new. I got one for 28, maybe 4 years old, low miles, 36,000. Great deal, below market deal. Get it for 28. 28. Throw my taxes and fees on there. I'm at 32, 31. What's my payment? 31, 600. Look what I'm buying too, because some of you that's what you think about with a used car. But I like the monthly payments. But Danielle's driving a brand new 44,000, never been titled. She's the first person to sit in this new car smell, like real new car smell. Latest and greatest options and features, full warranty. If anything breaks on the car, she's covered for 4 years. She won't lease it. She won't have the lease for more than 3 years. She's paying $550 a month. A person who's buying this same car is paying $800 a month, $900 a month, and a person who's getting a used version of this, 4 years old, 1 year left on the warranty, 3 years old, 1 year left on the warranty, and they're paying $600 a month. Everyone's paying more than her. And these are lease deals that we get all day long. Everyone's paying more than her. We can put every scenario. Only person that's not paying more than her is somebody who just drives like a 10-year-old Audi, 12-year-old Audi. They go pay cash for it, buy it from Facebook Marketplace or something like that, or people who go to the auctions and get, like a 12-year-old one. Those are the only people who could, flip cars and not lose. Everybody who's buying new cars, newer cars, is paying more than her. It's people paying $500 a month because they bought their Toyota Camry. They're paying $600. So you're paying $600. She's driving an Audi, $44,000 vehicle, no money down. You're paying $600. You're driving a Toyota Camry that you're not going to keep for more than another 2 years. Any car, replace it. Chevrolet, you could pay, Camry, Honda. You're not keeping these cars more than 8 years, and you're paying these ridiculous car payments, and you're the ones that, unfortunately, because you believe bad advice, you are not winning. You're losing. But would you rather me not tell you? God willing, you're like, man, I'm glad I'm young. I'm going to still buy more cars. Most of you are still going to buy more cars. It's good for you to find this out now rather than you never found out and you just passed it down to your family and your kids. And now They heard they don't lease. Now you got your 25-year-old. He never heard about leasing. He goes and he gets himself a $30,000 car because he got a good job. He said, all right, I could afford a $600 a month payment. He gets a $30,000 car. His payment is $600 if he put no money down, or maybe he put 10 grand down, whatever. Point is, he's paying between $400 and $600 a month for this car when he could be leasing a brand new version of that car for $350 a month. $350 a month, $600 a month. These payments are nowhere close. It's nowhere close. Depreciation is the unseen expense. So this is all step one. See what I'm saying? So when you're reading my book, you're going through leasing versions. I got a video on this, by the way. This is in my digital book. I'll link to certain videos to help you guys really understand certain concepts. But this is what we do. This is step one. Leasing versus buying is step one, because I know who was taught, be honest, never lease a car. Type me if you were taught never lease a car. You don't need a down payment, Lisa, and you don't need excellent credit. You need good credit. No down payments. I can show you right now, Lisa, on the screen. You can't see it because we rebroadcast these shows on TikTok, but you'll see it on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram because they can see the slides that I'm sharing. Like every deal that I'm gonna show, like Kimberly. Look, she got a $91,000 Maserati, $944 a month, 39-month lease. $944 a month, $91,000 Maserati. She got bids. Use what I'm teaching you in my book. She got bids. 7 competitive quotes ranging from 1% to 1.8%. That's a crazy, but she saved 20 grand on a brand new Maserati. No money down lease. Bonita, this was in the middle of the pandemic. When people were, the Kia Telluride was one of, if not the most popular SUV all through the pandemic. People were paying $800 a month, $900 a month, $1,000 a month for these Kia Tellurides. She leased one in December 2022, and she got it for $600 a month, and she gave them $600. That's all she gave them. So, ask questions. It's better to ask questions about things that you may not understand versus making statements. Because when you make statements, sometimes it can mean you're not in a full posture of learning. But I do get that you're dropping. Many of you are this is a game changer for you. This is a game changer. This is a money changer for you. I mean, my goodness, my brother who I met recently over the last year, he's a neighbor of mine, and he's become a close friend. And he had a Kia Telluride, black one, just like her. Totaled it. His wife was in an accident maybe about a month ago and totaled it. And he called me and he said he had saw the 8-year rule, and he said, I'm not keeping these cars 8 years. I'm going to lease this one. He leased a Kia Telluride, and his best offer on the same vehicle he owned was under $500 a month, no money down. It was like $479, $489. He was just paying. Remember, this was a $45,000 Kia Telluride he had. His payment on that car was probably $800-900 a month. So that's his wife totaling that car ended up being a blessing. Got him out of that car. He got the lease. He got the same car, brand new one, and he's paying $300 a month less because he has correct deal structure now. This is so important. That's why I call this the most important question in my book. And this is step one in my process, is you ask yourself the most important question. So I'm gonna put the banner back up for you guys on Facebook and YouTube. You can actually go to deshonsbook.com. Dolan pinned a comment in the Instagram section, in the Instagram comments. Also in the Facebook and YouTube comments, we've pinned Deshon's book. You can get your copy for 75% off. It's a digital book. So it goes to your email. Make sure you check your spam and your junk folder, but it goes there. You can get it in 3-4 minutes, and you won't pay the normal $97 if you get there before the 30-minute timer goes down. Once the time expires, the price is $97, which is the normal price, and it's worth more than that. It's worth thousands. I wouldn't price it at $97 if it wasn't worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So, but you can get it for 75% off that. You can get it for $24. if you get to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio before the timer expires. But that's leasing versus buying. That's a quick comparison of leasing versus buying and how there's no way to get a great deal if you buy when you should have leased. No way. So some of you are going to be like, oh, well, I want to transition because I want to get out of my car that I'm financing and move to a lease. You should do that as soon as it makes financial sense. And that means sometimes you have too much negative equity. You can't move right now. So you may have to wait a year or 2 years before you can actually move over. I like that question M asked on YouTube just now. Do you value owning cars without payments? Can you throw that one up, M? Can you throw that one up, Dolan? Who was taught always pay cash for cars? Who was taught, type a $sign if you've heard or you were taught that you should always pay cash for cars. Now, I'm going to tell you, in a market like now, it's great to, all right, I see RJ Velez. Now, there's value in paying cash, and I'm going to tell you where it is, and you got to just, there's no one size fits all. See, the problem, what's been hurting you guys is because you've listened to one size fits all car buying advice. So usually whoever is giving you the advice, they're telling you to buy cars the way they buy cars. Tap the screen on TikTok if this is making sense to y'all. If y'all are following this, keep tapping the screen, running the lights up. Let me know that you're following what we're talking about. So here's what's important. If you're listening to someone who tells you pay cash for cars, buy used cars, that's because they do that. Now, if it makes sense for them, then that's great. But we need to look at paying cash. When does it make financial sense? When does it not? It's based on a couple things. First of all, what are you doing with your money? Because some people say, I don't like car payments. Type me if you don't like car payments. Who said, type that, Deshone, I want to pay cash because I don't like car payments. Can we type that? Can we dialogue on this? Car payments. Anybody? Okay. May not be that many of you right now. There are people who say this, but you don't realize that car payments, when you pay cash, all you're doing is saving up a lot of car payments. So that's all it is, unless you just win the lottery. If you get a lump sum inheritance, that's different. But if you have saved up $15,000, $20,000, $18,000, and you want to pay cash $25,000, then all you did was save up a lot of car payments, okay? Or save what could have been car payments. You can put them in a savings account and just have the car payment come out. So you can literally say, all right, I'm going to put this cash, $25,000 in a savings account, and that's where my car payment is going to come out of, so I don't spend that. If it makes more sense for me to pay cash, then I'll take the cash. And when it usually makes sense is when the rates are very high. If you can't get a rate that makes really, really, good financial sense, and I mean like we get bids for our rates. We make banks bid, we make credit unions bid, we get multiple offers in what I call the bank bidding war. You get this when you get my book too. This is actually a section I wrote. It's like, maybe it's 3 steps to it of how to get the bank bidding war. But once you get those bids, if you can't get a good rate, then it really doesn't make sense for you to pay cash. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to borrow the money when you can pay cash for it. But there's an exception to this. What people are doing with their money is relative. So let's just say somebody is investing their money and they can get 10% on their money or 12%. Some of you are in real estate. Some of you are in good investments and businesses, investing into small, things that you can get 15, 20% returns on your money. It doesn't make financial sense. If you could get that type of return on your money, why would you want to put it into a car that's going to get you not just a low return? What's the return on a car, y'all? When you pay cash, you pay $25,000 into a car. What is the return on that? on the cash. What's the cash on cash return? Because I don't want to talk about this much because everyone's not paying cash. It's a small number of you who will, but I want you to be able to know when this is a financial conversation that if you're paying cash, you should understand this. If you got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 saved up, you're thinking about paying cash for a car, this should be an easy conversation for you to follow. Okay. All right. Actually, everybody said the return is 0. I haven't seen anyone who's correct yet because it's not. The return would be 0 if you put the 25 in and then 5 years later you came back and got your 25 out. That's a 0 return. If you put 25 into an asset and then you come back in 5 years and you should give me my 25 and they say, well, it's 5 years later, this asset is now only worth 12. What's the return on that? What's up, Big Spoon? What's the return? Not 0. It's negative. It's negative. So you wouldn't take money out of investments that are getting you 10%, 12% or more to put into something where that cash is going to be a negative return on your cash. So that's one thing to consider based on who you are. Another thing is to consider if your money's not invested, you're not doing anything with your money, then just keep the debt down. Keep the debt down. Another thing we do is we see if there's any special rates on the car we're buying, because and when rates are high, traditionally, you're not getting a low rate from a bank or credit union. Rates are 6, 7, 8% on average. You're not going to see 3%. But sometimes you'll see 3% as a special rate. That's car specific. So if I'm shopping for a Mazda CX-5, I'm going to check to see, do they have any special rates this month on the car I'm shopping for? It might be 2.9, 1.9, 0% sometimes. And these are instances where it doesn't make financial sense to pay cash. If I can get this type of rate, use the bank's money for a very low percentage, and then turn around and use my money and keep my money invested or keep my cash. Maybe you just want to have your cash. Once it's in the car, you can't get it. So once you put your money cash in the car, you can't get that money back out until you sell the car. But if you can keep the money and get the car, now you have your cake and you eat it too. I still got my cash, but I'm leveraging the bank's money, paying them small amounts of interest to use it. So people see interest as the only loss. I don't want to pay interest. That's programming. That's not what would be talked about in a finance conversation. And if you want to get religious, because some of you say, "Oh, I don't want to pay interest because of religious reason," then it's a partnership. It's not a debt. It's a partnership. Anyway, let's not get all into that. Just paying cash is right sometimes for some situations. Paying cash is not right sometimes for other situations. The key is, which situation are you in? That's the key. Knowing how to ask yourself the right questions. Which situation am I in? I'm getting good returns. Stock market been returning me X percent late. Hey, this many years, this has been my return. I think I'm going to keep my money invested and I'm going to use the bank's money. That's right for that person. All right. So that's a great question. I don't know how we went deep on that, but we're going deep in this stream. I normally do rapid fire Q&A. We're going deep on some subjects. And again, this is all in my book. Everything that I'm teaching is in my book. Every part of my strategy, it's a 7-step process. First step is most important question. Second step is deal structure. The equity assessment. For those of you who are replacing a car or a lease, assessing the equity in the asset to see how much money we can pull out, if any, to either put in our bank account or use in our next transaction. Third step is deal structure. Fourth step is shopping, not buying. It's actually called shopping, not buying, where we enjoy shopping, we enjoy test driving, we enjoy the process. We're about to spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000. We actually enjoy shopping for the item. There's no pressure because we're never talking numbers in the dealership, ever. That's our rule. Step 5 is multiple offers. So once we've selected what we're going to be getting, it's time to get multiple offers on it. If we're getting a used version, it's time to see multiple options of it. And if in step 5 in my process, used car shopping is online marketplaces. You're using online marketplaces, cars.com, carfax.com, autotrader.com, cargurus.com, Carfax, CarMax, Driveway, and Carvana. 8 marketplaces, eBay Motors. See, some of you are missing great deals because you're only looking at 2 of the marketplaces. That's like you're not going to see below market deals until you can see the whole market. So when we're shopping for used cars, that's what we do. When we're shopping for new cars, we use my 25 to 5, where your goal is to get 5 offers. If you are shopping for a new car or a lease, your goal must be to get 5 offers, because until you get at least 5, you are not going to get a below market deal. Because we have thousands of people who have come before you who have used this, and they report to me, they report their deals to me. So when I can tell you the deals we see, we have to get at least 5 offers, because 4 are overpriced. Some people get 6, 7 offers. You saw Charles earlier on his Palisade. I think he said he got 10 offers. But once you learn how to get them from home, either you could do it your way, you want to call and get them, you want to call, ask for managers to get them. I don't care what you do. If you're using my process, we don't do any talking. So when you're using my book, we're not talking. Because when you talk, who knows, when you talk, you can say the wrong thing. When you type, and then you're typing what I wrote for you. Because in my book, you're using what I wrote for you to talk to the dealers by email. So I can't even say talk to the dealers, to communicate by email, because we know everything they're going to say. So then the step 6 is paperwork and protection. Once you get your lowest offer, you find the best option. It's time for the paperwork. And then step 7 is delivery. That's it. So everything that I teach is out of one of those 7 steps. And, part of why you have not gotten the deals that you see me sharing is because you don't have any process. You're just winging it. You're just hoping things go well for you. And that's just not a place of empowerment. That's just not a place of empowerment. Strategy is here. So, so we went deep on some of what's in that book and what you'll learn if you get it in the comment section, or you can get it in my TikTok or Instagram bio. If you're watching us on TV, you can also scan that QR code with your phone. And as long as you get there before, but now you're seeing why the book's worth $97. I see why you priced it at $97, Deshone. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. You breaking this down and telling us what's in the book, and it's a digital book with links to videos and scripts and things you copy and paste. Oh, I see why this is a $97 book that you can get for 75% off. $24 before the timer runs out. Go ahead, Dolan. Yeah, this has been good so far, though. I do like this. Are you enjoying this dynamic? If you are, type something. The word something. Let me know you're enjoying this. All right, this is from TikTok. I'm told lease deals are new each month. Yep, they usually are. Why shop if brand has same financing deal? There's no same financing deal. So lease deals change every month. I'm going to make sure I'm trying to understand your question right. I'm told lease deals are new each month. Lease deals usually change every month. Sometimes they'll run the same one for 2 months, but usually something changes about the lease deal either every month or every 2 months. Why shop if the brand has the same financing deal? Well, we're shopping for offers. So shopping is to get offers. The financing versus leasing is the first question you should be asking yourself, though. Because as we spent a long period of time talking about earlier in the stream, one offer is not, you can't get a great deal if you buy when you should have leased. So if you didn't see that, definitely watch the replay on YouTube or Facebook. But the financing and lease deals are extremely different, and they're going to be entirely different prices. And we can't even depend. We don't even. Another thing you're doing, if you're buying a car, looking at the special finance deals is important, because that's how we see if they have 0% or 2% or 3%. But looking at the lease deals is absolutely pointless. Looking at the lease offer is, I don't even call it a deal. It shouldn't be called a deal. Anything that 100 people can come in and get is not a deal. You're not going to offer a deal to 100 people and say, hey, come on in and we make almost no money. See, what Charles paid, look, on his Palisade, $48,000 Palisade, he's paying $597 a month. Sean getting he got his F-150 Lightning XLT, $73,000 truck. His lowest bid, he saved, he got it for $4,999, what's this? $21,000 off is what he got. We're showing it on the screen right now in case you think we're capping. We don't need to. This is, look, Frina, y'all saw Frina, 579. This is Tiffany, who wrote us in when she got her deal using my book. She said, I believe we got a good deal from what we learned from the book. Look, it was a $44,000 MSRP that she got $6,530 off the price. That was her lowest bid. So you're nowhere close to what normal people are paying and what is advertised on these vehicles. What's advertised on these vehicles is not a deal. A below market deal is something where the managers don't really want to make it. But you know what? It could happen for a number of reasons. Somebody wants to beat their competition. Sean said he had to go 100. We shop out of state. You'll get very used when I walk you through shopping from home, and you'll see. I mean, if you're gonna do it your way and you get used to it, you'll see you're in more control. You're in control. So, but a lot of times your best offer is going to come from a dealer that's not close to you, because the dealers that are close to you feel like, why do we need to give them a deal? They're going to come in anyway. Because that's what most people do. You're going to walk in the dealer anyway, and you're going to talk numbers and try to negotiate. That's what most people are going to do. Why do we need to give these people deals? But this person who is now talking to multiple dealers from home, they hold the cards. We hold the cards. And then one person wants to beat everybody, and they do that. But you gotta, I'm going to say this, and then Dolan, throw the next question up. If everyone could get below market deals, then they wouldn't be below market deals. They would be normal deals. It would be the average price. Y'all, is that clear? Is that clear? If everyone could get below market deals, if it didn't take strategy to get below market deals, then they would just be regular deals. All right, this is Rhino from YouTube. What is a good range of credit score to go for a lease? Great question. Anytime you guys hear a question you like, just start tapping the screen, please. Appreciate y'all continuing to run the likes up on TikTok. What is a good range of credit score for a lease? So what I teach is the parameters. It's more about profile versus just score. The score is one step of your profile. It's one portion of your profile, score. But you also have income. You have something I call comparable credit. I don't call it that. The bureaus call comp credit, which is you've had a car loan before. So you could have a lower than fair credit. You want to be in at least fair. If you're in the fives, I wouldn't go a lease route. I would go a different route, which I have in my book. You get a smart car, set yourself up for a lease. Not the smart car that y'all thinking of, those little ones. It stands for saving money at the right time. We get the smallest car we could get a loan on, pay the payments for 2 years, then we flip into a lease. Because again, payment history weighs very big. So, but if you're in the 620, 630, but you got on-time car payments for the last 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, you might have, high balances with your credit cards, but your car payment has been paid on time, but your credit score is low because you're using a lot of your available credit. So in that case, you got a great shot of getting a lease because you're replacing a car, you're replacing a payment, you're not adding a payment. But usually, 650, 660 and up. 660 and up is usually the best to stay out of that manipulation zone. But again, if you have a lower score than that, but you have good income, good, you've been at your address a long time, these are things that weigh in the profile. You've been on your job a long time, versus, hey, you might have a 700 score, but you only been on your job for 6 months. That could affect you. So it's not just score, it's profile. But most leases are easier to qualify for than you guys would believe. I got my first lease and I had a 6-something credit score. Now I did have to pay, I remember $25 more because of my credit score. I didn't get approved at the first tier. I went up $25 or something like that. But I was still paying $256 a month for a brand new Pontiac G6. It's a $20,000 car. So I had friends that were paying $500 a month for Toyota Corollas, $20,000 cars. $23,000 brand new Toyota Corolla. They're paying $500. They're paying, and I'm paying $256. These things make a difference in households. Thank you for answering, brother. Just purchased your book too on your website. Enjoy it, brother. Now, I don't even say enjoy it. I use it. Use it. And there's 2 ways to use it. I don't recommend going through the book and then shopping. I recommend you don't, the book is written in a way where I ask you, it's like if you called me and said, hey, D, what's my first step? Here, do this, and then call me back. You wouldn't call me and be like, Deshone, give me all the steps. I wouldn't give you all the steps because you would forget them. I would tell you, all right, how many years we keep in the car? 4. Okay, we leasing. How many years we keep in the car? 10. All right, we purchasing. Then we're gonna move to the next question. We need to do our equity assessment. Go on these websites, call your bank, get your payoff, do these steps, call me back. Okay, boom, I did that. All right. So once you put those things in an order, you'll see that you threw me off, Dolan, throwing that question up. But yeah, Rhino should. Oh yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is use it. So you could go through the book. I would recommend you go through it, do 1 step, check it off before you move to the next step, so that by the time you get to step 7, I'm congratulating you, saying, let's get ready for delivery. Not, oh, I'm at step 7. I read the whole congratulations. Oh, that was so nice. That nice message you write to us when we get our cars at the end. That's nice, Deshone. You shouldn't be reading that until you got your car. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather you go through the book that way. It'll be a lot quicker, a lot more effective for you. All right, but use it. Use it. Great. All right, Dolan, throw that up for me now. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Okay, Freon on YouTube said, what about refinancing when the rate drops? Absolutely. If I'm buying a car and I'm paying a high rate, what is considered a high rate, 7-8%, depending on the gun. Now, there are times where rates are high. That's the best offer you could get. But there are times where we know rates are 3%, 3%, 4%. There's time when the rates was 2 and change from the credit unions and things of that nature. So, relative to what they've been, these rates are high. So, yes, as long as you have a great car, the goal is always to get a great car. You could change the loan, like Freon said, by refinancing. So let's say I have horrible credit, 400 score, I need a car. I'm going to make sure the car I get is absolutely a great car. I mean, it must last. This is the thing you need to be looking for. I need to make sure I'm getting a car that's going to last, because I could always fix the loan. But if you fix the loan, refinance, but you got a bad car. You got a car with 100,000 miles on it, and now you're saying you're going to keep it 8 years. You're not keeping that car 8 years in a lot of cases. It has too many miles on it. So you should be shopping for a car saying, okay, I'm planning on keeping this 18 years. I want to get myself something with 60,000 miles. Now that might mean you can't get the big SUV. But if you get the big SUV and then the car breaks down in 4 years, it defeats the purpose anyway. So you could always fix the loan. Don't get a bad car. Very, very important. Or that really destroys a lot of these long-term plans that you need to have. Okay? But yes, everyone will be refinancing when the rates drop. That's for sure. Go ahead, Dolan. Next one, please. Great questions. Great questions. Yes, these are some great questions. From TikTok, I have a car with a lease ending in a couple months. Buyout is 35, but Kelly's Blue Book is 44. Should I buy out the car with the option to sell after? We don't usually buy leases, in fact, ever. Why are we so big on buying our leases? Who told us that was a good idea? Who told us going from buying? Think about this. 3 years ago, I drove off the lot with a very nice brand new car that I was paying, hopefully, a decent payment on. Why am I going to stop doing that to now buy a used car? What's the benefit to us buying these leases out? Maybe I don't see it, because what I explain is it's a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. One exception, if you're keeping the lease 8 more years after you buy it, then it's fine, because it's just like you bought a used car. So you really kept the car how many years if you leased it for 3 years and you're keeping it another 8? See what I'm saying? 11 years. So you're going to win. It's still a bad idea, but you'll win somewhat if you keep the whole car 11 years, because I'm going to tell you why. Once you get the used car, you reset everything. You got that's a whole separate transaction. If you lease a car, your payment on that lease is going to be, let's just say your payment on the lease is $450 a month. What you're going to find in most cases, if you buy the lease out, to get a $450 a month payment, you got to take a 6-year loan. To get a $450 a month payment, you got to take a 6-year loan. So you already leased the car for 3 years, and now you're purchasing the balance for another 6. You leased the car for 3, you're purchasing it for another 6. That's 9 years. So why did I just say the only way to win when you buy your lease is to keep it at least 11 years? Because how many years of payments are most people going to have? 9. 9. 9. Can we let that sink in? A person who buys their lease, like most people are going to buy them with 6-year loans, you're paying for 9 years on the same car. 9. Even if you get a 5-year loan, 8 years on the same car. So it'd be a shame to go pay 8 years on the same car and then turn around and do that all over again. So you want to keep it long enough to at least, hey, I had 2 years of no payments though. I had that car 11 years. I only had 2 years of no payments on it. That's a pretty bad way to live. You're paying on 9 years old, 8 years old, you're still paying on the same car. 7 years old, still paying on the same car. This is why buying your lease is a horrible idea in most cases. From the start, you should either be leasing or you should be buying a used car. It's one or the other. and you're buying a used car that if you plan to keep it 8 or more years, you're leasing if you're not planning to keep the car 8 years. That's it. Not many cases where these make sense. Go ahead, Dolan. It's a great question though. And you know, I'm hoping we can help a lot of people stop doing that. And eventually maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, people won't be asking these questions, but it's a very, very common question. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. Nico Smooth on YouTube. What's up, my man? Deshone, if I wanted to counter offer lower than what the calculator generated, would that be realistic? Getting 1.4% would like to get around 1. If your lowest offer is 1.4, then that's the lease program. If your offers are 1.4, your offers should not be the same. That means you don't have enough offers. If all the offers are in one spot, 1.4, that means you're not getting enough. Once you get 5, 7, you'll see they should be at least $150 to $200 a month difference. That's how it should be. 400 to 600 a month. 600 to 800, 600 to 750. That's how it should be. Now, if you once your lowest offer is 1.4, but you have 1.6, 1.7, higher offers than that, then 1.4 is the best. And that's the lease program. There's nothing you can do about the lease program. All you're doing is finding the dealer that's going to agree to discount the car the largest amount. The lease program is then going to dictate what the payment's going to be. But yeah, you're on the right track. Go to a Plan B vehicle. It's surprising how different every single vehicle has a different lease program. In regards to what you and just to really hammer this home, Zafrina, who we showed first at the beginning of the stream, she had a $579 a month lease on a $65,000 truck. She was shopping for a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited because that's what they had and they were replacing the lease. So she gets a 1.1 and change. It was like under 1.2, like 1.19 or something like that. That was her best offer on a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. That's a great lease. That's a great deal. 600. That's a great lease deal. Probably a $450 payment on a $40,000. Great lease deal. But she said this guy is saying that he thinks he might be able to do better on a hybrid Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. He said he could probably get me below the 1%. I said, okay, you need to get 5 more offers at least. Because what if he's saying he could do better on that version, that means that version has a better lease program, which means you need to get your 5 offers again. She called me 48 hours later. Well, she posted in our group saying that she had gotten that $579 a month, which was a 0.88% lease. So that's not only is every vehicle have a different lease program, every trim level has a different lease program. Almost trim levels can have different lease programs attached to them. In many cases, they do. All right, great question though. You could also wait it out, Nico, if you have a little more time and see what the programs are next month. Go ahead, Dolan. You can shoot the next one up. Can you lease a car if you have a bankruptcy? Sure, but you need to rebuild your credit. You need to get your, if you start in blank, I know people that have had a bankruptcy, got a discharge, and they are at a 700 score in like a year. So I will be following Shonda Martin. You know, I recommend her to everybody. She has great strategies on credit. She does a lot of live streams like me, and she has great strategies. So I think she's on every platform. Yeah, she's on every platform that we're on. So Shonda Martin. But yeah, get yourself up to like a 680, which is not hard to do because you're starting fresh. Many times a Chevy or Ford, a Honda, Hyundai, Mazda, Subaru, these leases don't need you to be incredible. If you have a good job, long history on your job, and a 680 score, you're going to get most of these leases. These are not like luxury leases to the point where they're snooty. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Genesis on YouTube. So how can you lease out of state with the current lease looking to trade in? But I heard Deshone say out of state lease deals are good. Well, if it's the best offer, you go as far as you need to go to get 5 offers. In my book, we use my 25 to 5 strategy, where you're connecting with 25 dealers online in 20 minutes. We go to their websites using the contact tab, and then you have a template of mine that you copy and paste. If you're going to do it your way, you're just writing in, all the details of what you want, when your deadline is, what options you're looking for, what you're over. This is all stuff I walk you through in the book. What you're looking for. Really, it's about the car. You're not saying, hey, I'm looking for a lease quote, I'm looking for a purchase quote. We need to find out who even has a car before we start talking about money. But then the goal is that you got to get at least 5 offers. You got to get at least, and you have to do the equity assessment to see if there's any equity in your current lease. You don't want to return that, and you don't even know if there's any equity in that lease. And the only way you know that is the offers you get are higher than the payoff. It's very simple. Equity is offers, cash offers from CarMax, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book, instant cash offer, not Blue Book, the website, instant cash offer, Kelly's Blue Book, Auto Nation, sell my car, Car Guru, sell my car. You have to get these offers, and if those offers are higher than your payoff, then you have equity when you sell the car to these people. If you have a third-party restriction, you can't sell the car directly to them. You got to sell to a local dealership. You got to get bids from a local dealership. I teach you how to do that. For those of you who have third-party restrictions, we talk to used car managers to sell our leases. So I've been doing this since 2006. Like, if I wasn't called to build these companies, then I would be. If I wasn't called to build these companies, there's no doubt I would be selling cars, making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. There's no doubt about it. But that's not the path God had for me. So what I'm telling you is based on me understanding 99.9% of the car buying of the industry inside and out, and giving you the way to actually stay in control, call the shots, have the business come to you, have the banks come to you, have the cash offers come to you, and then you're just simply picking the best ones as they come to you. So this is all in my book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. You can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or we have a comment pin. Dolan, can you post the comment for everybody again on Facebook and YouTube? Just copy and paste that comment for everybody. And also we'll put a banner up on the screen for those of you who are watching us on television. You can scan this banner with your phone, and it'll take you to the 75% off page. So you'll only pay $24. You won't pay the normal price of $97. But that offers for 30 minutes. Once the timer does expire, $97 is your price to get it, which is still a great price. I'm sure everybody who spent time with us today can see why $97 is going to save you probably tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how many cars you get. Sean saved 20 grand on his first car. So for those of you who want to attend my free masterclass, Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars, you can attend that in my bio. We'll also put another comment for those of you who want to attend that. That's about an hour-long class, and I'm teaching very specific. You'll need a notepad for that. That's not just Q&A, although we do Q&A after. So you guys can go watch that, and so we'll put, and that's also in my Instagram and my TikTok bio. So the information's available, y'all. That's the whole point. There's no excuse. Everything that we talked about today is really financial awareness, financial literacy that you have not learned. You haven't heard of it before, but this has been around. We've been doing this for 3 years. Over 2,000 people have come before you. We have over 6,000 people that have this book now. So this ship has sailed. This car buying from home, you're late to the show now. And you can't afford to go buy another car the old way and think you're getting a good deal. You can't afford to do that. I mean, money is very hard to come by for some people, and you need to, I don't care who you are, you should take it seriously. So this is why we're here. And so you can get it from my free videos, from these Q&As, in my book, in my masterclass. I don't care how you get it. You want to join me in Maps Academy and have me coach you through your car buying. I don't care how you get it. Just make sure you get it. Get in where you fit it. All right. So that was episode 17. All right. We'll see you on episode 18. God bless y'all.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Welcome. This is episode 17 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I am your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor, and we do these live shows throughout the day, throughout the week, to make sure that you have access to cutting edge car shopping strategy, which is the science of making dealers and banks bid for your business instead of negotiating the old-fashioned way. So that is what we do here. Frankie boy, good to see you, Frankie boy, on TikTok. Kev, I see you on TikTok. We are live on all 4 platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We have Dolan in the background. He's going to be pulling in your questions for the show. So as you're here, you can start typing your questions. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way as well. Could everybody who shares great information hit the share button? Also, I'm the author of the new digital book, Cars from Home. It's called Car Shop. It's a 7-step system that we use to car shop, and we get bids from home. Everybody that you're going to hear me talking about today, I'll be sharing a lot of different people throughout the broadcast that use this system, so that you can see the different results that you will get when you start learning to make dealers bid for your business instead of negotiating the old-fashioned way. So thank you to everyone who has reviewed the book. Again, this is our Thursday, 12 p.m. live. It's May 9th, so you guys can start typing your questions if you are here with us live. And for all of you who do want your copy of my new book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers, we have a link in the comment section on Facebook for you guys. We also have a link inside my TikTok bio, inside my Instagram bio, that you guys can use to get your 75% off your copy. So you won't pay the $97 price. You'll pay $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. So once the 30-minute timer is up, the price is $97, and it's a great price. So all of these people you'll be hearing throughout the show have used the strategies that are in this book to save thousands and thousands of dollars from home. And that's where I'd like you to be as well. So Dolan, as you get the first questions coming in, feel free to throw them up, and we'll get right to it, y'all. Let's go. Whenever you don't see the banner above me, you know we're actually live. When you see the banner, that means we're rebroadcasting, because we do rebroadcast this show throughout the day. But whenever you don't see the banner, that means we are absolutely live. Okay, so start typing your questions. Type them fast, and we'll get to it. T. Del Mar on Instagram. I'm leasing. Now test drive. Why do I ask for an older salesperson? Won't any salesperson be okay? No, any salesperson will not be okay. Some salespeople will bring you in for a test drive. we talk to people who are experienced in the dealership. So when we talk to them and we ask them, do they have a car that we're coming to see? We know 9 times out of 10, they're going to be honest with us. You get a new kid on the block or a salesperson who doesn't care about this stuff, they'll get there. Who's ever gotten to a dealership, was coming for a test drive, and then the dealership said, oh, that car got sold, or that car is not here anymore by the time you get there? If you've ever had that happen, type me. You set up a test drive, you come in, oh, I was coming to see that car. Oh, it sold like, 2 hours ago. It just sold. See, when you're dealing with experienced salespeople who are honest, exactly, Peaceful Grace on TikTok, you understand. So this is why every step that I teach is important. Even things that you might see, okay, why is he telling us ask for this person? It's because if you don't, you run the risk of running into a salesperson who doesn't care. Oh, you'll get there and just, oh, well, that car sold, but hey, I might have another one. Let's look at some other ones. No, we don't go for that. We don't go for that. Our test drive is strategically set up to try to guarantee a successful test drive where we can be in and out that dealership in 20, no more than 30 minutes and coming home. Okay, let's go. Nothing is left to chance. All right, go ahead, Dola, shoot the next one and keep your questions coming, everybody. We'll try to get through as many as we can. I see you got all right, we got one that just came in on TikTok. We'll give everybody a chance to come on in and start typing your questions. Try to type them all in one question, kind of one long question versus, continuations and continuations. Derek Will on TikTok. How do I get out of a finance contract without it being on my credit as a repo? How do I get out of a finance contract without it being on my credit as a repo? Well, let's talk about how not to do it. If they take the car back because you didn't pay them, that's a repo. So if they take the car back because you didn't pay them, that's a repo. So if you do that, that's a repo. So let's talk about how not to do that. You could sell the car. The only way to get out of a car without it being a repo is to sell the car. So you need to find out what your equity position is in the car. You need to call the bank, ask them how much you owe. That's called a payoff. Get your payoff amount, how much you owe, and then you're going to get offers. You're going to do what we call an equity assessment, where you go into the 6 online car buyers and you get you get these bids. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation Cash Offer, and Car Guru's Sell My Car Cash Offer. Those are 6 different cash offers that you're going to get, and whichever one's the highest, that's the one you would take. What's up, Dave DFW? I see you. What's up, Yono? That's how you get out of the car. The only way you're going to get out of a car you want to replace people is to sell your way out of it. Because we don't trade. In most cases, we do not trade because you don't get all the money. When do you get all the money trading anything? You know what I'm saying? Who can tell me an item that when you trade it, you get the most money possible for it? I'll wait. Anybody? What's up, Bobby I Modern? What's up, Bell? See what I'm saying? So we understand. You're not going to get all the money of anything trading it. You sell it. That's the way. And most times you guys are taking $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 less for your vehicles, trading them. You're losing. See, again, you can't take the price, the monthly payment seriously, but not take the price of the car you're buying seriously. Not take the shopping for your interest rate seriously. Not take the selling of your old car seriously. Because you may be more focused on saving $1,000 off the price of the car you're buying, but you're not putting that same energy into how you shop for your loan. You're giving the bank $2,000 or $3,000 more because you're paying higher interest. Or you're not doing this bidding process. You're trading in your cars and you're paying $1,000, you're getting $1,000 to probably $4,000 less than what you would get selling these cars to online car buyers. So that's how you get out of a car. Only way you can do it is to sell your way out of it. And if you have negative equity, to pay the difference so that you can get out of the car. But if you just let them come take the car, you can finagle anything you want to try to not have it be a repo. It's a repo. It's a repo. And so the time 3 years ago, everyone could have sold their car and really got out of them because the prices of cars were so high. What's up, Alan Denson? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, so that's it. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one in. This is our Thursday live show. My man, Alan Dawson, appreciate. Oh, Alan Denton. Yep, appreciate you, man. Thanks for supporting the broadcast. This one's Optimal Living from TikTok. This is our Thursday, May 9th live show at noon. So whenever you guys don't see the banner above me, that means we're live. You can send your questions in, and we'll try to get them into the show. Grand Rising, I want to buy a used approximately $10,000 or less. Approximately $10,000, less than 100,000 miles, 1 or 2 owners, like a Honda, Hyundai, Volkswagen, good gas mileage, easy to repair. Any suggestions? Well, you have a lot of filters there. If you were buying under 10 grand, I would be looking at Facebook Marketplace. I would be looking at Facebook Marketplace because our used car strategy is to look at all the marketplaces where cars are. These are, AutoNation, Auto Trader, Cars.com, Car Gurus, Carfax.com, CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, and eBay Motors. But if we're looking at a car that's under 10 grand, I would certainly be looking at Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is where you're going to try to find a private party owner, not a dealer. Not a dealer. You're trying to find a private party owner that's going to sell you the vehicle, private party, not a retail purchase. A retail purchase is at a dealership that has done reconditioning on the vehicle to prepare it for the market. And so you're paying for that. You're paying probably 10% more for a retail purchase because it goes through the retail process. But if I'm spending under 10 grand, I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace to get a private party sale where I could save probably another 10%, maybe a little more below the retail price. But that's really depends, price specific. Same thing with selling cars. When we get our bids, if our car is worth less than 10 grand, we usually I always tell people, it's in my book, if the car is less than 10 grand, when you get your offers, you could get probably 1,500 to 2,000 more listing it on Facebook Marketplace. So if my highest offer might be for 8 grand from CarMax, everyone else is offering me 7 and 65, and I'm gonna throw it on Facebook Marketplace if I have the time, and I'll sell that car and usually get a $1,500, $2,000 above. So it's the same difference. I would shop on there if I was looking for a car under 10 grand. I would sell on there if my car was worth under 10 grand. See, when you start going with cars that are worth 15, 20,000, trying to put them on Facebook Marketplace, most of the buyers there need a loan. Most of the buyers on Facebook Marketplace need a loan. So when you get there, they're not going to be, most people don't have 20 grand to bring a private party. That's just most people. So the buying pool is very small for 15 to 20 grand, 30 grand private party. But the buying pool is very big for under 10 grand private party. So you always want to go to where the buyers are, where the best opportunities are. So yeah, that's what I would be doing. Great question, Optimal Living. All right, keep the questions coming, y'all. I see Sharita said, hey, I got the book. I'm stoked. This is great info. Thank you so much, Sharita. Enjoy it, use it. The things that are in my 7-step book, y'all, is everything you're learning right now. So everything that I'm teaching you is out of one of my 7 steps in my car shopping process. My book is called Cars from Home. So it's all designed to teach you the science, walk you through the science step by step of doing 90% of your car purchase from home 90% of your savings are done at home, not in a dealership. The only thing we're doing in a dealership is test driving, is having our car appraised if we have a third-party restriction by a used car manager, and picking up our car if they don't deliver. Those are the only three things we are doing inside a dealership. All the negotiating, the price saving, the shopping the market, the research, the working with the bank, that's all done at home. And some people, some of you are going to do 100% of your purchase from home. If it's a new car or a lease, some of you could do 100% of it, because if the dealer delivers, literally you never went into the dealership except for the test drive, and then we get our bids and we make the we accept the best offer. This is somebody who just got a bid. You can see the dates not too long ago. Look, I contacted 25 dealers. Some of you know my system is used to, we connect with 25 dealers, with our goal being to get 5 offers. Because what percentage of offers is overpriced? Let's see if anybody on here knows. If anybody's been spending time with us, this might be a lot of your first time with us on the stream, but what percentage of dealers is overpriced? Let's see who knows. And this is why you must get at least 5 offers. At least 5 offers, because what percentage of dealers are overpriced, everybody? Let's see. All right, we may got a lot of new people on here. Maybe nobody knows. No, not 100%, Twan. Not 100%. Thank you, T. Delmar. 80%. Exactly. 80%. T. Delmar Instagram got it. 80% of dealers are overpriced. Now, this is not my opinion. I'm telling you guys. I've been working with people all around this country. I opened up my car buying school, Maps Academy, 2021. We have probably over 6,000 people now that have our book. So people report deals to me. I have hundreds of people who over the years report their deals to me. And that's what we see. We see 80% of the quotes we get are higher than the best quote. So when you get your 5 offers, one of them is going to blow the other ones away, but the other ones are going to be significantly higher. And when you look at somebody like this is Teddy. Teddy he said, I received 10 offers. He said, I only use the scripts provided. So in my book are the scripts he's talking about that you copy and paste. This dealer's initial quote came back at 937. Using the counter offer calculator, which you have in my book as well. Using the counter offer calculator, I countered at, I closed on this, wait, hold on, I can't even read. I closed on this 2024 BMW i4. MSRP is $73,855. $73,000. Pay attention to this, y'all. I counted at 829. He came back with 856. My highest offer during this process from a different dealer was 1123. My local dealer, there's a lot happening here in this post if y'all pay attention and dissect it. My local dealer came in at 986 and even told me in an email that he didn't think I'd find a better deal out there. I didn't speak to one salesman on the phone until after the credit was ran and the deal was secured. I even got them to cover my last 2 lease payments. This is how you get, see, if I was to ask Teddy right now, Teddy, bet me $1,000 that there's not a better deal out there. He'd most likely take the bet because he connected with 25 dealers. He got 10 offers. He used it. You can never accept a deal without countering because we don't know what the bottom is until they say no to the counter or until they say, no, I can't do that, but I could do this. Now we know they're at the bottom. So all of this stuff can't happen. You're not going to have price assurance, which means you guarantee you paid the lowest price. And you're not going to be able to get these numbers until you sit at home and start getting the offers at home. It is impossible to get these types of numbers, this type of confidence, this type of assurance walking into one dealer. Even if you got a good price, there's no way you even know it's a good price until you have enough offers to know this one right here is the best offer. He might have thought his local dealer was making him the best offer at 890. What he says, local dealer came back 986, because remember he has other offers that are 1100. But if he accepts that offer, he's never pulling away in this BMW for $856 a month, a $73,000 vehicle. Now, again, I'm gonna ask y'all before we pull up the next question, and we are live right now. It's Thursday, it's May 9th, and this is our 12 p.m. show. Once again, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. When you look at what he's paying, some of you have seen every $5,000 on the price of a car is how much a month? Every $5,000, because this is a $73,000 car. Now I'm going to talk to some of you who don't understand leasing, some of you who are taught you always buy your cars no matter what, and I'm going to show you what this car would have cost him monthly, if he didn't know that leasing was better for him because he doesn't keep his car 8 years. Thank you, Gerard Young. Every $5,000, Gerard just answered. Emo also answered it on YouTube. The question was, every $5,000 on the price of a car is how much per month? Approximately $100 a month. So when you look at a $20,000 car, automatically you should think $400 a month. You're looking at a $40,000 car, that's $800 a month. You're looking at a $50,000 car, that's $1,000 a month. 5 years on a 5-year loan. You're looking at a $70,000 car, y'all. That's $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month. His car is $73,000. Not to mention, there's people right now that are driving this same exact car Teddy got, same exact BMW, $73,000. They're paying $1,400 a month. He's paying $856. Are y'all getting this? Are y'all getting this? So my book is in my TikTok bio. Click the link there. You can get it for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next question up. Instagram, you guys can go to my Instagram bio and get your copy for 75% off. And it is a step-by-step formula for how to get these deals. That's everything I talk about on these shows. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Leo, I've been selling cars for 20 years. This young man is speaking the truth. Man, I appreciate it. See, and this is what the 20% of dealers do. The 20% of dealers have no problem, admitting the systems that we teach are better. Because we're not trained as car salespeople. Sometimes you think car salespeople are really trained. The only thing we're really trained on is negotiating and how to get you to say yes. We're not trained in finance, not trained to teach you about leasing. We're not trained to teach you about negative equity, depreciation, all this stuff that we should be trained on because you're buying a depreciating asset. We should be telling you, listen, based on our financial training, if you're not keeping your car 8 years, your best option is going to be to lease. Because when you buy your car is going to go down in value so much over the 5 to 8 years you have it. If you turn around and replace it, you're going to lose all that money. Your car is going down in value way too much over 5 to 8 years for you to turn around and replace the car right after that. You need to keep it after that. That's when you keep it. 8 years of that's when you keep it, because now you're like, man, I put all this money in this car. Yes, it may not be worth what I bought it for, which was $40,000 8 years ago. It might only be worth $10,000 today, but I'm gonna keep it now because 3 years from now, it's gonna still be worth probably $8,000. It might be worth 10 today, but because it's 8 years old, in 2 more years, it'll be worth $8,000. I'm not losing that much money anymore. You are not winning with buying cars until the car is not depreciating that much anymore and you still own it. Okay? If y'all clear with me on that, just tap the screen. Run the likes up on TikTok if y'all are getting what I'm telling you. If you're getting what I'm telling you, hit the like button. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, hit the like button if you're clear on what I'm telling y'all. All right, let's move on to the next question, Dolan. Okay, I like to make sure you guys are actually following the conversation. So you have to actually respond and let me know you're following it when I ask you a question. All right, this one's Glenn over on YouTube. If your car lease is up in 6 months, how do you go about trying to sell your lease? Well, the first thing you're going to do, first of all, this is a great question. Glenn said, how do you sell your lease? Now, step 2 in my process is called the equity assessment. My book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Step 1 is the leasing versus buying question. Step 2 is the equity assessment, which means if you have a car you're replacing, we got to get the most money for it. And that's never going to be with a trade. So we have to see, is there any equity in our lease? Now, we are not assuming this. We are going to do this process and see, because some leases have no equity. Some leases have a good amount of equity. Like, hold on, I just had somebody write me talking about equity they got in their lease. Hold on. Didn't talk to, I think it was this person. Oh, but I cut off their post. Somebody said they just got $4,000 and I always like to say this. I always like to show this stuff so people understand. You know, we operate with documentation. So when you are getting how you determine if you have equity is with cash offers, not with algorithms. Kelly's bluebook.com. Blue Book says my car is worth this. That means I have equity. No, Blue Book doesn't buy cars. So what you want to do is you want to determine if you have equity by calling your bank. You're going to get your payoff, which is how much you owe. And then you are going to go on the websites that I'm laying out for you. It takes you 20 minutes. If you can't take 20 minutes to go on a website to fight for your money, you don't deserve it. You're going to CarMax, you're going to Driveway, you're going to Carvana, you're going to Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, where they connect you with a local dealer to get a cash offer. You're going to Car Guru, Sell My Car, and you're going to AutoNation, Sell My Car. And that's going to give you up to 6 offers. And if you have a lease, you need to ask your bank, do you have a third-party restriction? And if they say you have a third-party restriction, then if you have equity, you're going to be selling to a local dealer, not to one of the local online buyers. If you don't have a third-party restriction, we sell to the highest online buyer. If you do, we sell to the highest bidder among used car dealers. So it's just simple. There's different processes. I don't teach one size fits all car buying. So some of you who have a lease with a third-party restriction, you're going to use one strategy. Those of you who don't have a third-party restriction, you're going to use a different strategy. Those of you who don't have any money you owe on your car is paid off. You don't need to call your bank. You just need to go on those websites and get the offers. So, and when you're on there, if you have a lease, there's going to be a part where it says, is your car owned, financed, or leased? You want to put owned. It's very important. Don't put lease because it triggers something in their websites. So that's step 2. I go over this thoroughly in my book. This is called the equity assessment. You can't, listen, you need to get bids. Bids. That is my favorite word, that multiple offers. The reason why you are not saving the money that you could be saving is because you're not getting bids. The reason why you don't have the confidence when you leave a dealership that you got the best price is because you're not getting bids. It's very simple. Start getting bids and you're going to save more money and make more money selling your cars. And you'll see why we don't trade in cars. That's the equity assessment. Okay. Step 2 in my book. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. All right. Yep. Wanda said my last lease had 5,000 in equity on TikTok. Amen. I sold the lease a couple years ago when prices were super high. I made $10,200. My mother did. I made $9,000 on my Jeep Grand Cherokee. That was in 2021, I believe, 2021. Yep. It was ridiculous money. So the 9, 10 grand, 12 grand lease, those are not really there anymore. But we still see people that are making 2 and 3 and 5,000 for sure. Rudy on Facebook, how are you? Good afternoon, Deshone. I'm new to the live stream. Welcome. Who's new to the stream? If this is your first time here, type 1. Type the number 1 if this is your first time here. I'm looking for a 2020 SUV, Mercedes GLB 250, 4MATIC, less than 20,000 miles. Drives over 120. I see you, Yvette. Drives over 120 miles daily. We have been looking in different car websites. Still haven't found one that matches our max of 30K. Any suggestions? We live in New Hampshire. We've been looking in Massachusetts as well. Should we be expanding our searching area? Thank you for your help and keep up the great work. Absolutely. Yes, you should be expanding your search area. If you're looking for a 3-year-old vehicle with less than 20,000 miles, right now, you got to look at the age of the car. When you're searching for a used car, you got to remember a car comes out the year before the year we're in. So if a car is a 2020, it was released in 2019, most likely, which means you're calculating the age based on then. So if you're looking for a car that was released in 2019, and right now we're in 2025, you're looking at a car that's 6 years old. If you're looking at a car that was released in, 2022, and we're in 2024, then it's 2 years old. So you need to look and say, okay, how old is the car I'm looking for? And then we can look at the mileage. Because if you're looking for a car that's 4 years old, but you're looking for it to be driven 20,000 miles or less, that means you're only looking for a car that has a 5,000 a year average. That's going to be very tough. I like to go with it. I like to look at 10,000 a year, and then I like to go to 12. Now, we're talking about how we expand the search of our used cars, because the whole goal is to expand the search slowly. So if you were looking at the 2020, 20,000 miles, now go up to 30,000 miles. I would go up to 40,000 miles, because 40,000 miles still means it's driven lower than average. Just to show, so average miles is 10 to 12,000 miles a year. If you get a vehicle and it's 4 years old, it's driven 10 to 12,000 miles a year. It has really under 40,000 miles on it. It means it's been driven under 10,000 per year. So you're really looking for the mileage. It's the mileage that I think is really going to limit you. Now you could expand your search wide, like you said. There's many ways to expand it. You could go 100 miles out. You could go 200 miles out. You can go 500 miles out. So but you could also expand the search by lowering the mileage threshold and saying, all right, I'm looking for something that has, under 40,000. If it has 36,000, 38,000, 30, I'm good with looking at those. And I think that's going to give you a lot more options, considering how old the car is and how many miles you're looking for it to have. That's way, 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 way below average driven miles. Way, way, way below. And when you have just, you're looking for a car that's only been driven 5,000 miles per year, you're going to have a harder time doing that than looking for a car that's been driven 10. So once we do that, we're still narrowing it down in other ways. Carfax title history, service records, accident history, verifying there's no fake fees. So we have other narrowing down processes. Then we get the new window sticker to make sure, because you can't know you paid a great price without knowing what the original price was. Who's bought a used car in their life? Type the letter U. Type the letter U, and I'm gonna before Dolan pulls up the next question, I want to make a point here to how just not having strategy, you guys are missing the things that you should be using to determine if you're getting deals. Yvette, I see you. Okay. Richard on Instagram, I see you. Leslie on TikTok, I see you. Alex, I see you. Derek, I see you. Harold, I see you. Kathy, I see you. Okay, so let me show you something. When I was buying my Infinity truck, all of the trucks we were looking at were white. All of them were priced between 30 and 32,000 as a used vehicle. 30 and 32,000. So if I narrowed it down, the top 4 I was looking at, they were all white, black inside, between 30, 32,000 price. Similar miles, one may have 26,000 miles, but the highest one has 36 similar miles. So I'm narrowed this down. Now, this is where many of you you don't have the information to make the right decision, because the determining factor of which vehicle I chose was based on the brand new price. I'm gonna tell you exactly how this went. Once I got the brand new price, I got the brand new window sticker on all of these cars, I was able to see that one of the cars brand new was 46,000. One of the cars brand new was 48,000. One of the cars brand new was 52,000. And one of the cars brand new, which is the one I ended up getting, was 54,500. It was a special edition. It has all of these features on it, has all these packages. It has different rims. It has all these different things. Now, if I would have picked the other ones, because the asking price was lower, I would have made a horrible decision. Paying 31,000 for a car that was originally 46,000 is nowhere near as good of a deal as paying 31,800, which is what I paid for a car that was originally 54,000. This is what I call in my book the true value percentage. The true value percentage discount is what the vehicle is being sold for relative to what it was when it was new. So picture this, if the vehicles that I was looking at would have only had the true value percentage discount on them, it would have made it even easier for me to choose, because the one I picked would have said 42% off the brand new price. The ones that I didn't pick would have said 38% off the brand new price, 36% off the brand new price, 32% off the brand new price. So when I look, true value percentage is literally that. And that is something we created. See, a lot of what we teach, we didn't learn it, we created it. So you are getting things that, why can't I find what Deshone teaches in other places? Because God had me create it. So you're not going to find it from other people. You're not going to find the 8-year rule for leasing versus buying with other people. You're not going to find the 1.5% rule for bad lease deals with other people. You're not going to hear them talking about this true value percentage discount when we're looking at used cars, because we created all of this stuff to regulate the industry for people who will use it. So if you guys want everything I teach in one spot, you can go to my TikTok bio. As long as you get there before the 30-minute timer goes down, you can get your copy of Cars from Home, my digital book, for 75% off. Go there. You won't even leave the broadcast. Get your 75% off. It'll be in a few minutes, and you can use this stuff for the rest of your life. Same thing with Instagram bio. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, we have a comment in the comment section for you guys to get your book there, and you can use it. And if you're on a TV watching us, then you can just scan this QR code with your phone, and you can get your 75% off. $97 is still a great price, even if you missed it and suffer. Get your book full price. If you missed the countdown, that's fine. But the money that you're going to save is going to be dramatically multiplied versus what you spend on this book. Okay, Dolan, shoot the next question in, y'all. We are live. This is our Thursday, May 9th show, 12 p.m. So whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means we're actually live, and you guys can type your questions, and we'll try to bring them onto the show. Helena, what do you consider a good interest rate? Well, this is a relative question. It's the same question you're asking when you say, what do you consider a good discount off a car? How much should I pay for this car? We only pay when someone wins the bid. So we teach something called the bank bidding war, which I also created. You have been taught that, don't let these dealers run your credit, or always get, who's been taught any of this stuff? Always get your own pre-approval You know, never use the dealer's banks. Never, you know, all of this stuff. Any way. We teach a process that the credit bureaus allow. The credit bureaus allow us to have an unlimited number of banks and credit unions run our credit with a hard pull, as long as it's within a certain period of time. As long as it's within a certain period of time, when that time expires, they are going to have that weigh on our credit as one hard inquiry in terms of how it affects our score. See, normally when you have a bank run your credit with a hard and then another one, and then another one, each hard inquiry affects your credit. But when you do it the way it was meant to be done, and using the bank bidding war, if one hard inquiry would have dropped your credit 10 points, 20 of these hard inquiries is going to drop your credit the same 10 points. So the way it's done is there's 3 rounds to it. There's 3 rounds. This is for people that are financing. Again, those of you who are paying cash, this doesn't matter. Those of you who are leasing a vehicle, this doesn't matter. That's why having access to car buying advice that's not one size fits all is what you need. Because typically, if you only pay cash for cars and get used cars, that's what you're going to teach people. So everything has a different place. So those of you who are financing a new car or a used car, you're going to use the bank bidding war so that you don't have to ask this question. This is the answer to Helena's question. How do you know? What do you consider a good interest rate? It's who wins the bid. So there's 3 rounds to it. The first thing we're going to do is see, are there any special interest rates on the car we're shopping for? So if we're shopping for a Kia Optima, a Kia K5, and all right, let's see, are there any special interest rates on it? Are they doing anything like 1.9% financing? Are they doing 0% financing? Are they doing 2.9% financing? Anything special? We also need to know how much the term. What's the term? Some people only do 0% for 3 years. That means you got to be able to pay the car off in 3 years or you can't take the deal. If it's 0% for 60 months, that's different. You got a 0% 5-year loan. You got 0% 6-year loan. So we need to see, is there anything special on the car? We do that for new and certified pre-owned, if we're looking for a certified pre-owned. Now, if we find something, sometimes that could prevent us from even needing to do any other interest rate shopping. If they're doing 1.99 for 60 months, you're not going to find better than that. No bank is going to do better than that. So that's why it eliminates the rest of the rounds in the bank bidding war. Eliminate it. But let's just say that there are no special interest rates. Now we're going to revisit the bank bidding war in round 2, which is after we find the best price on our car. See, because some of you, when you go shop for a car, you're thinking, how much should this car cost? Oh, what's the monthly payment should be on this car? The monthly payment is between you and the lender. It's not between you and the person you're buying the car from. See, this goes back to our point, which is you must set up your car buying transaction from who you're getting your loan from. The process of shopping for the best price on your car is different, or should be different. If you listen to me, it will be different than the process of you getting the best price on your loan. The best price on my loan is a different process than getting the best price on the car I'm buying. So now, once I start now looking for my car, getting my bids, get the best price on my car, now it's time to come back and get the loan involved. See, many of you are focused on what the best monthly payment is on the car, but you're not focused on finding the dealer that is the lowest price. That's focus number 1. Before we think about what is our monthly payment, we are thinking about what is the dealer? What's my process for finding the dealer who's going to sell me this Kia K5 for the lowest price? Who's going to sell me this $40,000 car for the lowest price? Once I find that dealer, Now it's time for me to come and get start shopping for my loan. See, and the reason why this works so well is because there's a process to it. We're not winging this. The reason why any fighter who goes into a fight and they're winging it, they are in a position of struggle. We don't wing it. That's why when you see my 7-step process in my book, it's 7 steps. In Matt's Academy, my car buying school, it's 7 steps. Whether it's video, whether it's the book, it does not matter. It's 7 steps because the process does not change. A process should not change based on whether you want a new car, used car, a lease, a luxury car, an exotic car. It shouldn't change. So once you find the best price on the item, now you're coming home and you are going to now contact online banks, your bank, your credit union, and you're going to get all their offers. This is round 2 of the bank bidding war. Round 1 is any special interest rates on the car. No? All right. Then we go find the best offer on our car. Now we're going to start round 2, which is our bank, our credit union, online lenders, all submitting bids for our rate. Round 3, once that's done, round 3 is we call the dealer who we have the car on hold with, and we tell them the best rate we got, and we give them a chance to see if they can beat it. That's round 3, because the dealers have another 5 to 7 to sometimes 10 banks. So see if they can beat it. So now you have 3 rounds of individuals competing for your interest, for your loan, to give you a loan. 3 rounds. First is the special rates. Second is you, your bank, your credit union, online banks. Third is the dealer's banks. And so when you leave, you already know I got the best interest rate. I guarantee it because I had 15, 20 people competing for my bank, for my loan. And that if you do that correctly, you are going to see that it weighs on your credit at the end as the same as one hard inquiry. That is what the bank bidding war. When you get my book, I email you a copy of the bank bidding war with it because I haven't merged the bank bidding war into my book yet. That's an update. Yes, that's an update. So all of you who had the book prior, when I update the book, you get the new book. You get the new book. That's another reason why having a digital book is the best way to do this. Because when things change in this game, when websites change, people go out of business, I update the book so that things can stay fresh. That's a beautiful thing about having a digital book. So the banner is on the screen. You guys can go to deshonesbook.com on Facebook or YouTube. You can scan the QR code with your phone because everyone can get your copy for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97 as long as you get to either my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio before the 30 minutes is up. Okay, that's a great question, though. And what we're doing is we're going a little deeper. I've had tons of shows. We've done tons of streams where I was doing these rapid fire answers. This is episode 17. So what you're going, or 18. So what you're going to see is we're going a little deeper on certain topics as we're led to. So go ahead, Dolan. Next question. 5 though. No, I'm not streaming on Twitch, Matt. Only on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. This is Lauren over on YouTube. Used your system just last week to lease a new car and got a 2024 Tiguan, great, at 1.1% after getting 6 bids. Now you talking, Lauren. It was the most enjoyable car buying process I've ever had. Thank you. Do we see what let me screenshot this here. This is what we're talking about, Lauren. This is what I am talking about. See, Lauren didn't know me. See, here's how different information changes things. Lauren was just like y'all about a month ago. She didn't have my book because we didn't even release the book. She was just like y'all. She might have didn't even know me. But what? She's an action taker. She got on the stream. She said, look, I like what this guy's talking about. This book is $24. What's the worst I could lose? There got to be something in that book where I could at least make my $25 back. Or even if I paid $97, got to be some tip, one tip in here, got to be able to make me at least $100 back. She later finds out she's going to get thousands of dollars in discounts, get a 1.1% lease. Well, what that means is if the car is $40,000, her payment is like $420 on a $40,000 car that people are paying $800 a month for, $700 a month. Her lease is 1.1% of the MSRP. So because she's an action taker, she went forward, she got the book, she used the scripts, she said, I'm done with the old process. I'm willing to unlearn my old way of shopping, and I'm going to relearn this new way to shop. That's why, you understand? That's why it's all about unlearning and relearning. You understand? And she's able to reap the rewards of not just saving the money, but receiving empowerment. Because this is the only way to car shop empowered. You could go negotiate. Not only are you not going to get the money off that we're getting, because if you're negotiating with an 80% dealer, there's no way for you to get these prices. So if you're in a dealer, yeah, they'll take off money for you, but their price was so high to begin with that when they take off the money, you're still higher. An 80% dealer is the overpriced dealers. You can't negotiate them down to the best price. So even if you did that, you still wouldn't have the empowerment of letting the business come to you. See, you're empowered when you're sitting at home and the business is coming to you. You're in control. And the only way to do that is with bids. So congratulations, Lauren. Enjoy your new Volkswagen. Beautiful vehicle. And I'm so glad to hear that you trusted the process and you have reaped the rewards. Congratulations. God bless you. All right, Dolan, go ahead. Throw the next one up. We are live, y'all. This is our Thursday, May 9th, 12 p.m. live stream. So if you don't see the banner over my head, we are live. You can ask your questions. We'll try to get them in the show. Wanda Lopez Smith on TikTok. Leasing companies not allowing third-party buyouts. Yeah, I explained that. If we have a third-party restriction, we're going to sell it to a local dealer. But we still get bids. We still need to get bids from the online car buyers to know if we have equity. If we have equity and we have a third-party restriction, we're going to sell it to a used car. Like if I had a BMW and there's a third-party restriction, I'm selling my BMW to a BMW dealer. I have a whole script in my book for how we do this. We talk to used car managers, and I'm going to have a used car manager buy it. See, some of you bought your car because you saw the third-party restrictions and you bought it and resold it. I don't like doing that because when you buy it and resell it, you have taxes, you have fees that you're going to pay. When you sell to a local dealership, sometimes they don't pay the taxes and there's no fees. So buying and reselling, you're eating up like probably $3,000 or $4,000 of any equity you would have. So yeah, we've been getting out of the, we've had a process for third-party restrictions since they started them in 2021. We've had a process for how we were going to sell our cars and get our equity, even with third-party restrictions. So that's never stopped us. Never stopped us. Good, great question. People like the live view have no clue how valuable his information is. Appreciate you, Belle. Thank you so much. Only people that know how valuable the information is people who use it. People who watch, there's a saying, you can't be a hearer of the word. You want to be a doer. A doer. A lot of people hear. A lot of people hear because we want our ears tickled. But it's the doing that leads to the savings. And in our case, what we're asking you to do is easy. It's just your programming and your fear of a process. See, it's an unknown hell. I mean, an unknown heaven is what we have over here. But you have a known hell. Sometimes what you know is so comfortable, even though it's hell, but it's, you know it. You're comfortable with it. You're comfortable with the discomfort of car shopping. So this is what, Deshone, everything you're saying, that sounds hard. Sitting at home and doing these copy and paste things and having this, that sounds hard. That's just your fear. That's your programming talking to you. That's not reality. Because in reality, you see people like Lauren who just came on, and you see this is the easiest way she's ever bought a car in her life. This is the most money she's ever saved in her life. Look, you got people like, look, Matt, happy to share. I've officially graduated. Huge thank you to Deshone, building such a great system, answering all my questions along the way. Lease details. You got a $56,000 Hyundai Palisade calligraphy, 1.28% lease. Highest quote was $1,167 a month. He got his for $719. The highest quote he got from an 80% dealer was $1,167 a month. He got his for $719. Sitting at home, getting bids. So for those of you who want to know, like, I do have a car buying school. It's called Maps Academy. You want to know more about it? We have a comment in there. You can attend my free masterclass. I don't let anybody in my school who has not gone to my masterclass. Everything you're doing raw and buying, selling, and leasing cars. So there's a comment in there for the comment section, and we have a link in my bio for you as well, who if you think, you know what, I want to see about his online buying school. I don't care, because the system that Matt says, Deshone, thank you, Deshone, for building such a great system. The system is the same. So, but you have to be an action taker. And because the system is simple, and it's in video form, and it's in book form, and it's in my free live video, my free streams, you just get it where you could get it. But there's no excuse for sitting at home car shopping the old way anymore when this information is available and it exists and it's 3 years old. This isn't new. We have hundreds of people. You're not oh, let me take a chance and see if this will work. That ship has sailed long time ago. Long time ago, that ship has sailed. But the action takers are going to win, not just the hearers. People listen, oh yeah, this sounds good. Of course it sounds good. But you won't reap the results until you become an action taker on the information. Okay, so those of you who want the book, it's in my TikTok bio, it's in my Instagram bio. You'll have access to these strategies for the rest of your life. All right, Dolan, shoot the next question up. We got some great questions coming in today. This is our Thursday, May 9th live show. So we are live right now. It's our 12 p.m. stream. Melanie from TikTok, what do you recommend for a young adult that is first-time car buyer that has no credit? I would recommend you save up. You get something that we call a smart car. That's not one of those little cars that you heard. It stands for saving money at the right time. I got a car that's my point A to point B car because I work from home. I got a car. It was literally $4,000. I got it from a grandfather over in South Orange. He was 98 years old, and he still drove until he couldn't drive anymore. Car had 72,000 miles on it, and I got it for $3,750. Literally, it was I got it a year ago, so that was it was an 08 Pontiac G6, 70,000 miles. And that's something that I drive from point A to point B whenever I want to do my run. Because again, I work from home. Most times we take the truck, but if my wife's out, I'll take the car. But I didn't need to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a car that I'm driving twice a week. So what I would tell you for you is if you need transportation, you want to get it reliably, save up some money, get yourself a private party sell on Facebook, pick it up for a couple grand, but you have to be diligent. You want to find it from an owner. You want to find it from an owner who's not driving too much, who maybe they got a second or third car in the family, and that you don't want to deal with these dealers on Facebook Marketplace perpetrating as owners. The owners know the history of the car. They've had it for the last 8-10 years. You want somebody that can tell you, yeah, my little son, this is where Jeremy took the car one day. He was driving to the grocery store. He backed into a car over there right here. You want a person who knows that. Not a dealer who just picked up the car and now they're trying to sell it to you for $2, $3, $4 grand. So that's what I would be doing. I would be getting me a very reliable, inexpensive car that I can actually get to work with, make more money. And then once I make money, I will be choosing whether I'm buying or leasing based on if I'm going to keep the car for 8 more years. Whenever you get into spending real money on cars, over 12, 15 grand, this is when you start wanting to ask yourself, am I going to keep this car 8 years or not? Because once you get these cars and build up your credit, Melanie, another thing you should be doing is getting a credit card, not using it, pay it off every month, spend $20 on it, pay it off so you can get your credit up to a 700 score. You could be at a 700 score lightning fast before the next 12 months. So now what you want is you want a car to drive, get you to where you're going, but then you want to be building your credit now. So now when you're like, okay, I got a job, I'm making money, I want to get me a different car. Am I going to buy it or lease it? And if you're not keeping it 8 years, you want to go for the lease so that you could drive a brand new car for pennies on the dollar, as long as you keep following what we're teaching and getting great lease deals. But if you're keeping the car for 8 or more years, then you would go and you would buy a car, not lease it. But in order to do that, you want to set yourself up and get yourself up to a 700 credit score. So you should follow somebody like Shonda Martin. She's on all the platforms. Shonda Martin, this young lady is a guru when it comes to credit. She does a lot of live streams, a lot of Q&As, just like me. But yeah, you got a great path. But don't go out there and do what a lot of people do and finance a car, no credit, your first car, you're gonna go buy it. Now you're getting a $20,000 car, you're gonna probably pay, $500 a month for it. And now that car is gonna be a long-term thing because it's just too expensive. And you just don't follow the traditional route is what I would tell you. All right, I'm glad. It's my daughter. She has a full-time job and now searching for a car. Okay, perfect, Melanie. I think that's a great plan. Because the thing about that car that you're going to get for Facebook Marketplace is whenever she decides that she's ready to finance or lease a car, she can sell that car and get all her money back. If she finds a great car on Facebook Marketplace for $4,000, $5,000, you guys can sell that car and get the whole $4,000 or $5,000 back. You'll get 80-90% of it back. And I like to get whenever it's going to be a short-term thing, I don't want a car where it's going to be a burden to me later. We want to get a car that does the job now. I know with this Pontiac, whenever I choose to sell it, because I'm actually going to get a car. I've been waiting to get a vehicle that I want for a number of years. And when I do go get that, I'll sell this one, but I'll get everything back that I spent on that car. I'll get it back. So it's just strategic. It's a great way to move when you know these cars are not costing you money. You're breaking even on them, and it's just great. So that's what I would say, Melanie. That's what I would do for my own daughter. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. We are live, y'all. We're going to try to get through as many as we can in the show. Type your questions. This is our Thursday, May 9th show, our 12 p.m. broadcast. So, Sir Francis on YouTube. What's the best source for an accurate valuation to determine if purchasing a used car is a good idea? I don't go by that. The only way purchasing a used car is a good idea for me is if we're keeping it at least 8 years. That's it. If you're not keeping it at least 8, are you keeping the vehicle at least 8 years? Let's see if we give him some time to answer. Are you keeping the vehicle for at least 8 years, Sir Francis? See, if we're not keeping the vehicle at least 8 years, there's no point in buying it, because the money that you would spend to lease, you can't put a price tag. You can't compare it. The reason I have to show y'all these lease deals is to see you cannot compare great lease deals to purchase deals. You can't. Look at this. Look at Jared. Jared followed the leasing like a boss system. The leasing process went quick and exactly like you said it would. Sent the emails. We had multiple offers to work with. Trusted the process. Used the scripts. Got the lowest offer from $565 a month down to $520 with a counter offer. Look. That's probably a $40,000 vehicle. I don't have it up in front of me because I cut the rest of his post off. But look, 1.28, $56,000 vehicle. Even if you were buying a used version of this. So let's just I want to show you this. Let's just say instead of leasing like Matt did here, he got a $56,000 vehicle for $719 a month. We already know with $1,000 every, with $100 a month on every $5,000, this $56,000 vehicle is about $1,100 a month. Every 5,000 bucks is a hundred bucks a month on a 5-year finance. So $56,000 vehicle, we're looking at literally $1,100 a month, $1,100 a month payment. Let's just say though he bought this car used. He didn't understand leasing. He found a used one. So instead of 56, let's say he gets one for, you know, let's call it instead of 56, he gets 26 grand off. Let's say he gets it for, hold on, let me do percentages. I don't know why I can't do math right now in my head. Let's say he gets it for 38. Let's use something that's really conservative and good. He gets it for 38. So a $56,000 Hyundai Palisade, he finds an incredible deal on a pre-owned one. He gets it for 38. Once his taxes go in, he's at 40. What's his monthly payment, y'all? If every $5,000 is $100 a month, what's his monthly payment for 40? See, it's all about no money down. If you notice, every time we're comparing numbers, we're not putting any money into the deals. See, when you're not putting any money into the deals, you can easily compare the deals. That's why all we do is shop with no money down, because it's easy to compare the deals. In my book is No Money Down Mastery. You're going to find every strategy I teach you doesn't involve money. It doesn't involve money, because when you want to put money down, that's different. But money down should be after you have assessed the deal already. So, those of you who want your copy of Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers, go to my TikTok bio now, get your copy for 75% off. Go to my Instagram bio, get your copy. But look at this. I'm asking y'all, what's his payment? Let's see if we got anybody that chimed in. If he didn't get this brand new one, if he didn't get this brand new Hyundai truck, he got a used one. So instead of 56,000, he got his for 38. Great price. He found one for 38,000, low miles. Now taxes are in, and he's financing 40,000. What's his monthly payment? Anybody do the math? Every 5,000 bucks. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all now. Okay, y'all taking a little long. It's 800 a month. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Derek, on Facebook. 800 a month. So let's look at that. Matt drove off $719 a month, no money out of pocket. Brand new 2024, never been driven, new car smell, fresh out the plastic, $719 a month. Same person who bought that car because they didn't understand leasing, they're paying $1,100 a month. Now there happens to be another one just like it, but it's a 4-year-old one, and it's $38,000, and someone else gets that, and they're paying $800 a month. Do you see how much money those who don't teach you about leasing have cost you? Do you see how much money listening to those who don't understand leasing has cost you? Big money. So I'm either driving a used car and I'm paying more than the guy who got the brand new one. Or I'm driving a brand new one just like him and I'm paying $400, $500, $600 more than what he's paying because I bought the car. Now, when do the people who buy win? When do they win? 8 years down the road. 8 years down the road. See, because when you buy your car and you pay it off, see, the person who leases is not worried about depreciation. That's the car going down in value like this. The person who leases is not worried about depreciation. They've already beat it because their lease payment is so low. Their lease payment is so low, they're paying less than what the car's normal depreciation would be. So they beat it with a great lease deal. Now, the people who own the car they're not going to beat it because they own it. So any depreciation is coming against their actual car. If they could have sold the car today for 30, next year it's only worth 25, they lost $5,000. If you were going to sell your car today for 20 and then a tree branch falls on it, is it worth 20 tomorrow? Even when you fix it, run it through your insurance. Hey, I'm coming to get my 20. No, a tree branch fell on the vehicle. It's worth probably 18 now. This is depreciation. So the only way you're going to avoid that is through long-term ownership, because eventually, like I talked about earlier in the stream, you get to the point where your car is only losing a little bit of value each year. Only to this year it's worth 10, next year it's worth 95. In another year it's worth 9,000. That doesn't happen until you have kept the car 9, 10, 11 years. So if you're not keeping your cars that long, you're losing thousands of dollars not leasing, as I just illustrated with those 3 examples. Okay? So this doesn't change. I don't care whether it's Lamborghinis. I don't care whether it's Rolls Royces. The principles do not change. Derek on Facebook. If a manufacturer is offering a very low IR through their direct financing for well-qualified buyers, is there something I should look for on my credit report to know whether I should apply and let them run my credit versus using the pre-qualified offer I have from my credit union? Yeah, most people are going to qualify for the special rates. If you have fair credit, good credit, most people are going to qualify for the special rates because it's not super tier. Super tier is like A1 or A9 in the business world. That's super tier. Most of them are tier 1. So a tier 1 approval is really going to be if you have, 680 credit score and above. If you've had a car loan in the past that you paid well, you should be able to qualify for those special interest rates. Those are not super hard to qualify for. And if it's something under 2.9, you're typically not going to see that coming from a credit union or a bank, not in this market. Not in this market. So yeah, it's a good question though. But that's round 1 in the bank bidding war. So it's important for you guys to know that whenever you see a special interest rate offer, in many cases, it's not hard to qualify for. You don't need perfect credit. 680, 700 and above, you should be fine. All right. So, all right. Let's go. John Tez on YouTube. I'm interested in getting a 23 Charger Scat Pack, trading a 2022 Camry. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Dealer wants 56 for the car, but it's been on the lot for 220 days. What do you think I could get them to lower it to? Well, I'm going to just tell you honestly, why are you trading in a 2022 vehicle? First of all, if you paid cash for that car, you wouldn't be trading it in, because once you see what it's worth and what you're getting in 2 years, you've had the car for less than 2 years. See, there's something, here's what we're not getting. The reason why I hold this up is for y'all to see that you cannot trade in cars this fast and have it be and have it. And I want y'all to know we are 100% live right now. We are 100% live right now. You're not watching a replay. This is a live show. So we're going to dialogue on this for a quick second. You should not, if I show this so y'all could understand, the value of your car is dropping like this the first year, 2 years, 3 years. You think that you could buy a car here for $35,000, turn around, trade it a year later, and it's only worth now $27,000, and you're just going to flip and take that $7,000 loss in depreciation. You are going to absolutely lose your shirt. And the only way that you actually don't realize how much you're losing is because they hide it in your monthly payment, because you're a payment shopper. Just get me to this payment. I don't care about the numbers and all of that. I don't care about how much money I'm losing on each car. Just work my monthly payment to something that I could afford. And that is financial disaster. because there is no way, if you were coming and you were writing a check for this, if you came in and you bought that 2022 Camry and they said, okay, it's going to be 35 grand, you know, whatever, and you wrote a check for it, and then you came back a year later and you said, all right, well, what y'all going to give me for my 22 Camry? And they said, all right, well, we can only give you 25 for it. And you said, wait, I just paid 35 for it last year. You ain't giving me no 25 for it. You would never take that. But payment buyers take those deals all the time, because what they do is they give you the same 25, but when they finance it and stretch the loan out, they're like, see, and your new monthly payment is only $50 more than your old car. And you like, man, this sounds like a good deal. It's a horrible deal. It's not even a deal. It's a horrible offer, but you're not trained to see it. So whenever I see somebody who's switching from cars that are less than 2 years old to a brand new car, you're not talking about leasing it. So you're still in the mindset of, oh, I could buy cars, switch them, buy cars, switch them, buy cars, switch them. You absolutely are losing thousands of dollars on every single car you buy. So if I wanted to do what you were doing, replace my 2022 Camry with a Charger Scat Pack, and first you're buying another pre-owned one too. You're buying another pre-owned one. So you're asking, all right, I want to replace this 2-year-old pre-owned car that I got, and then I want to buy another pre-owned car and replace that one. But you're not looking at the fact that the 1-year-old Scat Pack you're trying to find is so rare. When you find it, you're most likely going to overpay for it, because who has 1-year-old Scat Packs? Who has 1-year-old Dodge Charger Scat Packs? How would that vehicle even end up on a dealer's lot? You only get the cars on dealers' lots one of two ways. The dealer has to buy them from auction, or buy them from one of their customers, or at the end of a lease, the person returns the car. So people are not usually trading in a 1-year-old car. So if it has been on the dealer's lot, maybe it's because it's a leftover model. And if it's a leftover model, you don't have anything to compare it to see how much you should be saving. So what I would be doing is, before I buy a 1-year-old Scat Pack, I would see what's the market on a brand new one. This is so important. This is so important, because this is financial intelligence. Look at this. If I would have walked in, this is Sean. Sean got an F-150 Lightning, $73,000 vehicle. He ended up saving $20,000 on the vehicle. Brand new one. Same thing with Kimberly. She got a Maserati. You can see here, what does it say? Total savings, $20,700. 2023 Maserati Greco, $86,000 vehicle. They took off $20,700. That's the new one. So what happens if she would have bought a used one, 1 year old, and she saved 20 grand? She might have thought that was a great deal. Man, I got a 1-year-old Maserati. They took off 20 grand for me. Not if she didn't know that on a brand new one, she could have got 20 grand off. So whenever you're buying a car that new, you need to know what the brand new market is to know, all right, if I can save 10 grand off a brand new one, then how much should I save off the 1-year-old? I should save a lot more than that. See, and you have a lot of things that you moving in a way that I would tell you need a system, because it's hard for me to explain to you everything you are doing and a way you're approaching this, how you're going to overpay by thousands and thousands of dollars. You haven't talked about leasing versus buying. You're not talking about shopping for cars in a way where you can actually see multiple offers. You're talking about buying a 1-year-old pre-owned car without looking at what the market is. How do I know a good deal on a 1-year-old one? There's not enough vehicles out there for you to know a good deal on a 1-year-old, which means the only way I'm going to know a good deal on a 1-year-old one is I need to know what a good deal is on a new one. And if a good deal on a new one saves me 15 grand, then that means on a 1-year-old one, I need to save like 20 to 25. There's not enough vehicles for you to do that. So you should really be looking at following a system, learning about leasing versus buying. Are you keeping the next car 8 years or not? If you're not keeping the next car 8 years, you shouldn't be buying, you should be leasing. Because I don't care what you get the price for on the Scat Pack, you are gonna overspend compared to someone who goes and leases their Scat Pack and gets a great deal on it. So we got to slow down and look. Most times we're approaching car buying like grocery shopping. We trying to get our car deal done the same time as a grocery shopping visit. 2 hours, 3 hours. We're at the grocery store more than we're planning our car purchase. And the only way you're going to save money is to take your car buying process seriously. If it's just like, nah, Deshone, it ain't that big of a deal, then go ahead and go give them 15, 20 grand. But I tell you what, somebody like me, somebody who's listening to me, who getting the same car that you're getting, and they say, man, so funny, Deshone, I'm in the same position as that person is in. I got a Camry too, and I want to replace it too with a Scat Pack. But I'm gonna use your strategies. I'm gonna assess my old car, get bids for it. I'm going to determine leasing versus buying, and then I'm gonna shop for my car. That person will save 5 to 10 grand more than you, minimum. Minimum. I put any amount of money on it. So slow down and answer this question first. How many years are you keeping the next car? If the answer is not 8, don't think about buying it. Don't think about buying it. My goal is to shop for my most aggressive lease on my next car. If I'm buying it and I'm keeping it over 8 years, then I'm buying it. I'm not buying a car that I'm not keeping more than 8 years. Not no Scat Pack, not no Dodge Challenger, not no Toyota Camry, nothing. If I'm not keeping it 8 years, I'm not buying the car. Lease deals are too great. It's pennies on the dollar when I learn to get them. So everything I'm teaching y'all is out of my new book, Cars from Home. It's a digital book. It's called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio. The price of the book is $97. That is the price. But you can get it for $24 if you get to my TikTok bio before the 30-minute timer expires. If you get to my Instagram bio before the 30-minute timer expires. We have a link in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook. You can go to deshonsbook.com, or you can scan this QR code with your phone and you can get your copy for 75% off. So use it. Make sure you send me your success stories. Continue to send me your success stories so we can bring them onto the show. That is a step-by-step system. There's nothing left to chance. You cannot leave anything to chance when it comes to car buying. Everything that we teach is for a reason. So let's continue to move. You know we will be back soon for another stream. And catch us later. We're usually live 7 and 12 p.m. So if you're around at 7 p.m., just again, if you don't see the banner above us, that means we're actually live. So jump on and we'll get to it. Everybody else who got your book, enjoy. For those of you who want to attend my free masterclass, Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars, you can also go to the comments or to my TikTok and Instagram bio. But you're going to need about an hour. And that's a straight hour of me in my board. And we have a comment for you right here in the Facebook and in the YouTube section. That's me showing you scenarios, going over 23 mistakes that most of you are making that you need to stop making if you're truly going to get below market deals. Okay, so other than that, y'all, get the information. I don't care how you get it. Get in where you fit in. Use it. Keep unlearning. And let's keep saving this money. All right, God bless y'all. See y'all on the next one.